Yo, what's good? It's your boy 2K, Three Kings Boxing in the building. Of course, I'm joined with my man, Bo. We're here for another podcast every Monday and Thursday. And this one is going to be a motherfucking good one, dog. How you feeling, Bo?
Man, shit, I wasn't feeling good. You know how it is. One of them days where I had no time for myself. But, as always, come in the door, sit down, and my man Prodigy tell me some shit. I'm like, oh motherfucker.
Oh, yeah.
I'm fucking ready, goddamn it. And, we got a like already. That tells me motherfuckers is rolling with us. One like already, not even 1 minute in the show.
Mm-hmm. They waiting, fam. This is the thing, man. Motherfuckers is maybe it's my face, dog. I'm a big nigga, but I'm a light-skinned nigga compared to a lot of the niggas. Some niggas feel like light-skinned niggas is weak. You know what I'm saying? I mean that's the what is that? What's that? The stereotype of a light-skinned motherfucker, right?
Yeah, that's that old 1970s, 1980s even.
Yeah, word up. So I guess, they see me online, they see me talking this shit on Facebook and all of that. I feel like they got to compete with me. Maybe it's not me. Maybe it's something else. Maybe they see Three Kings Boxing is flourishing. They feel like they got to compete. But you can't compete, dog. You can't, nigga. We got the best team in the fucking business. Everybody we roll with, all our writers, my head of public relations, everybody we roll with knows the game inside out. You want to talk technical? We got you. You want business? We got you. You know what I'm saying? Hell, if you want to get in the ring with one of us, we got you. You know what I'm saying? Because we've all been there, dog.
That'd be a mistake, by the way.
Yeah, huge mistake.
That would be a mistake, by the way.
We've all been there. See, a lot of these media outlets, they got cats that, went to journalism school and shit. And this is how they talk. And they went to journalism school and, I just want to get a job and get in my field. I love to write. I don't know shit about boxing. But see, us, we all know boxing. We know it. It's what we do. It's what we eat, sleeve, breathe, bleed boxing. I don't even know how you bleed boxing, but we figured it out.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So 3kingsboxing.com. Stick with us. Stick with this podcast. This is where you're going to get the real shit. And be prepared for a real technical ass breakdown that's coming up. Not just on Spence Garcia. We doing Tevin Farmer, Jono Carroll, Rose Volante, Katie Taylor. You might not even know them, but we going to tell you who they are and why that fight is significant. You know what I'm saying? Kosei Tanaka, Ryoichi Taguchi. Another major fight that's happening on the same day as Errol Spence Garcia over in Japan. We're going to break it all down. But first, let me get a disclaimer before we jump into this shit.
Yes, sir.
Of course, as you know, this is episode 10. Y'all should know by now. If you got an issue with anything we say, fighters, trainers, promoters, managers, anybody in boxing that feels like they some type of big wig or some type of important entity, if you got a problem with what we saying, don't hesitate to disagree with us. Don't hesitate to bring it up on the podcast. If you see me at a fight, this weekend's fight, Errol Spence versus Mikey Garcia, I'll be in the media section. Come holler at me. You know what I'm saying? If you got a problem with what we say on this podcast. All right? But it's all entertainment. Just remember that. We trying to entertain our viewers. That's all it is. All right? Let's jump right knee deep into this shit, bro. The rumors are circulating. And everybody done took the bait, boy. You know what I'm saying, man? Let me tell you something. It might happen the way it's being reported. We're not saying that it won't happen.
Exactly.
But what we getting ready to tell you, and I'm going to let my boy Bo take it off.
I'm going to let my Bo.
Yeah.
They're going to have fun with that one. They're going to have a good time with that one.
Yeah. When the right motherfuckers get up in here that they can't wait to get on us, they're going to get on our ass. Yeah. No homo.
Right. No shit.
Let my boy Bo take it over, man. But the thing is, one person reports something, and niggas jump all over. Understand the Three Kings Boxing, we didn't touch this story.
No.
We're waiting on the official announcement. We're not touching this shit. Remember how Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder had all y'all motherfuckers up in arms last April. When they were negotiating, every little thing that happened. motherfucker report on it. We touched it every once in a while to keep up with what's going on in the media, but everybody was jumping on that shit, dog. Oh, Anthony Joshua said this. Oh, Deontay Wilder said that. But remember, little old Prodigy told y'all, Joshua ain't fighting Wilder. He's fighting Alexander Povetkin 4 months in advance. I told you guys, right? But I'm just a little old Prodigy. What do I know, right? I'm telling you guys again right now, don't jump the gun on Deontay Wilder turning down a $100 million fucking offer that can see him face Anthony Joshua, a fight he's been wanting for almost 3 years now, twice in that deal. Don't jump the gun on that, especially when there's going to be an announcement on Tuesday. Now, before I turn it over to Bo, I'm going to just say this, man. There's a cat that took this shit and ran with it. And I'm not going to say his name. I told Bo I'd throw a shot at him. I'm not going to do it, man. I'm not going to say his name. But he took it and ran with it. Oh, Deontay Wilder, he about to turn down $100 million. Nigga going crazy all over social media.
Mm-hmm.
But there is no evidence of him turning down anything whatsoever. You won't find out possibly until Tuesday.
Yep.
Bo, take it away, man.
All right, man, here's the thing. And let me be clear about one thing, all right? I want all you all to understand something, because the first thing I know what's going to happen is y'all are going to assume we are defending Deontay Wilder. No. Okay? Three Kings Boxing, we don't defend fighters. We will defend an incorrect statement made by a fighter, whether we like them or we don't like them. Yeah. And on Three Kings Boxing, if we don't like a fighter and somebody is inappropriately saying something about it, somebody at Three Kings will correct that person. They'll be like, hey, dog, you feel that way because you don't like them. Like, and we ain't got no problem with fronting you off like that.
No problem.
As you guys have probably seen on some of our podcasts, okay? So let's just make that clear. We're not defending him. Now, it's fucked up that I got to say this, but I'm going to say it. If Deontay Wilder, if he turns down this deal, even if you tell me Fox or Showtime match the offer, I don't fucking care. He should not do that, because Fox and Showtime, okay, do not get you close to Anthony Joshua. If anything, it kind of makes it a little bit more harder, because now you're talking about cross-networking. And don't hit me with the old Eddie Hearn saying, well, you know, the way Joshua's deal is, he don't necessarily have to fight on his own. We can make a fight on Showtime, okay? No. Don't hit me with that right there, all right? Don't hit me with that. Don't hit me with that, because at the end of the day, Eddie can say what he want, but the zone is going to remind Eddie why we gave you a big bag of fucking money. It wasn't to take the biggest fight ever of our motherfucking history and move that bitch to another channel. Okay? It's showing the fuck wasn't for that, right? So if he signs with anything that's not ESPN or DAZN, I'm telling y'all right now, I'm highly disappointed and I will be highly upset. I really will. I will be highly disappointed and I will be highly upset. Now, let me say, now with that being said, the reason why I'm saying the word if is because of this. People are going off of rumors on Twitter. I want to point something out.
Oh, jeez.
And I don't really want to say this on our channel, but I will say it.
Fuck you.
I'm gonna say it. Fuck it. BoxingScene.com has not wrote shit about this. ESPN have not wrote shit about this. Nope. Eddie Hearns himself have not tweeted a motherfucking thing about this.
Hey, Three Kings Boxing ain't wrote shit on this. Three Kings Boxing done broke so many fucking stories. We ain't wrote shit on this.
So just think for 1 second. Just Eddie Hearn. Just take Eddie Hearn. You think Eddie Hearn would wait till Tuesday if he knew Deontay was going to reject this offer?
Nah, man. Eddie Hearn got diarrhea of the mouth, bro.
Wait, but no. This the same Eddie Hearn that walked the fucking streets of New York asking people, do you know who Deontay Wilder is?
Word up.
This the same Eddie Hearn that shitted on the pay-per-view.
Word.
Okay? Try saying how 300,000 buys is all right. Okay.
Right.
This the same Eddie Hearn that told Wilder when he fought Fury that, hey, you finna fuck around and lose out on all this money.
This is the same Eddie Hearn that told me that Anthony Joshua sells $15 million or 15 million tickets in 30 minutes.
Right. Okay.
Blatantly bullshitting.
Right. Hold on. This is the same Eddie Hearn that got no problem calling Shirley Finkel.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you guys think, matter of fact, this is the same Eddie Hearns that had all of us believing that the $50 million offer wasn't real. Right.
Exactly.
So do you all think, just for 1 second, listen, take out how you feel about Wilder. Take a deep breath. Woo-sah, whatever the fuck it is you do. You know what I'm saying? Put your hate, put all that dislike feeling aside for anybody. And just think logically for 1 second. Do you all really think that some of the entities that I named, including Eddie Hearns, if he really was going to turn this down, would wait to tell us? They would wait for some Tuesday. Now, they may not know, and maybe that's why they're not saying anything.
Word.
Okay?
Word.
Maybe they don't know, and that's why they're not saying anything. The only thing we know for certain is Deontay Wilder's fight with Dominic Breazeale is not going to be on this zone.
That's it. That's the only thing that comes out of that report.
Because the rumor was they was gonna offer him so much money to fight Breazeale, right? So right now all we know is, well, his fight with Breazeale won't be on the zone. Then they said news conference on Tuesday. So why would you wait to have a news conference only to say, yo, the biggest motherfucking deal of your entire fucking career, we saying no to?
Yeah. And let me say this, Bo. The motherfucker that took it and ran with it and threw it all over the place, don't I specifically tell you and the rest of our staff that whenever he tries to break a story, you got to research that shit. Because that motherfucker is wrong majority of the time. Right. I'll tell you this. The stories that we ran in the past that came from this particular cat, let me say this. The 2 times that we basically got in trouble with the fan base is because we ran stories that came from this cat without doing our research. And this is a respected dude out there. But I tell my writers, I say, do not write shit that this dude reports without doing thorough research.
Because you know what's funny? I named some of these other entities, and there's other people out there like the guy that ran with it. They're just reporting that his fight with Breazeale won't be on the zone. But they're also saying is he's close to finalizing a multi-fight deal. Word. They're just not saying with who.
Not saying with who. Right.
So again, let me make it clear. Signing with Fox and Showtime, if this is my position. I don't give a fuck if Fox or Showtime matches the deal with the zone. I don't give a fuck. Signing with them, I'm not gonna like. If you ain't signing with ESPN or you ain't signing with the zone, where I see you fight Tyson Fury for lineage, or I see you fighting Anthony Joshua for undisputed. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna be very upset and disappointed because for all this time, that's all you've ever talked about. So if you sign with something where it makes it look like it's gonna be hard for you to get either one of them things, I'm gonna have a problem with that. Right? So we just want to make this clear. What we're talking about is let's not jump the gun. Let's wait, because right now, if you all think for a second, I just can't express this enough, man. Have Eddie Hearn, Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, they ain't said shit.
Nobody talking, fam. Like it's these motherfuckers. It's like the mob came and put a gag order on all 3 of them. Better not talk, man.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying?
I got your family in the back.
Yeah. Little short, motherfucker 5'1" and shit.
Yeah. Hey, yo, sit this guy down. Hey, yo, Scully, put the gun to his head, so he listen closer. Right? You understand? You fucking moly. Don't you open your goddamn mouth.
Yeah, straight up. That's the only way. You know what I'm saying? Right. All these motherfuckers, especially Hearn and Tyson Fury, got diarrhea out the mouth. And recently, Anthony Joshua's been having diarrhea out the mouth and forming it in a way where he's rapping and shit. You know what I'm saying? Anthony Joshua would have already came out with a freestyle on Instagram by now. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, let me repeat my preface to this topic. We're not saying that he's not turning it down.
Yes, yeah.
We're also not saying that he's going to take it. We're just trying to get y'all to understand not to jump the gun because there isn't enough information out there. And based logical reasoning, right? Using common sense, you got motherfuckers that normally would have talked, not talking. And then you got a press conference scheduled for Tuesday to clear all this shit up. The only thing that is out there that is definitive information from a credible source is that Dominic Breazeale won't be on DAZN. But listen to this. Just because that fight is not on DAZN does not mean they can't make a deal after this fight, fam. Right? Just because he's not fighting Dominic Breazeale on DAZN doesn't mean the deal's off the fucking table. They could have been like, yeah, go ahead and fight Dominic Breazeale, have your last fight on Showtime, and then your next 3 gonna be on DAZN. That's called common sense, thinking logically, right? So, boy, be killing me, man. Niggas be killing me, dog.
Hey, dog, look here, man. This is what you gotta understand, okay? We live in a generation of who can be first. Now, who can be right? Be right?
You're right about that.
It's who can be first. Because the one that gets it first gets all these millions of people to see it. 1 million people might see the one that got it first, but only 200, 300,000 might see who got it right. Remember what I used to tell you about what my grandfather said? 1 million people will see something, but only a quarter of them gonna stick around to the end.
Yeah.
And we live in that shock jock era. Well, can I be first? Can I be first? And that's the era we live in, man.
Jordan Ciampini, I'm not sure if I'm saying his name right. AJ wants his people to sanction the fight. Wilder wants his people to sanction the fight. Okay, where is your definitive information that right there is stopping the negotiations? I'll wait. Where is your? I mean, we in the media, bro. I mean, I'll be at the fight this weekend. We've covered fights. You know, we've been around this shit for a long time. The website 3kingsboxing.com is the fastest growing online information media, boxing media source out there.
Right.
A lot of the major players know us. That's how we got to the goddamn Errol Spence Garcia fight. So what do you know that we don't know?
Well,
shouldn't be a problem. Hold on. That shouldn't be a problem. Wilder wants to fight in the U.S. Anthony Joshua's fighting Jermell Miller in the U.S.
Yeah.
Anthony Joshua's trying to get a U.S. fan base.
Yep.
So that shouldn't be a problem.
Yep.
So I'm sure you have, Jordan, but you're not in the media, fam. We are. We are in the media. We do this every day. It's a 24/7 operation. We cover fights. We are the media, man. So that's where we, you know, not trying to compare myself to you, but we have a leg up on you on in that situation. We're gonna know things before you do. So I'm telling you, what do you know that I don't know?
No, DAZN don't want to fight in the UK. DAZN want to fight on their network.
Right. They just want it on their network.
They just want their network, dog. They don't. It ain't about them wanting to fight
because,
in the UK.
Because think about it.
The network.
Think about it, Jordan. It's going to be on the network, right? But understand, Sky Sports gets a piece of that too. So that shit going to be on DAZN and Sky Sports pay-per-view. So it doesn't have to be in the UK. But this is.
Let's say, but hold on, wait a minute though, 2K. Let's say they do want it in the UK.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though, Jordan. We don't know if he's not going to sign. That's what we telling you.
Exactly.
Like I don't know when you came in. Okay, I don't. But we don't know if he's signing or not signing. Exactly. But what we're saying is the head people, Eddie Hearn, Joshua, Tyson Fury, all these motherfuckers that have been flipped at the mouth toward Wilder haven't said shit. So if he was going to turn it down, don't you think you'd be Eddie? You think Eddie Hearns would go ahead, man?
And this is the top story in boxing.
Yeah,
this is bigger than Gennady Golovkin signing with DAZN right now.
Exactly.
Actually, that shit done fizzled away.
Yeah,
that shit done fizzled away. You see what I'm saying? So right now, this is the biggest story in boxing. You really believe that something that major of him turning down $100 million contract that would see him fight Anthony Joshua twice will not be talked about by all the major media outlets. The only ones reporting this is Bloody Elbow, and they jumped the gun on every goddamn thing. Yeah, you. If I say, if I say, hey man, I'm about to go take a shit, Bloody Elbow gonna report that. So is WBN, World Boxing News.
Right.
They report every, hey dog, hey nigga, damn nigga, I was taking a piss one day, man. My dick started burning. World Boxing News already got that shit up before I even finished the statement. So that's what I'm saying, family. Like y'all gotta use logical reasoning. You gotta, if y'all and I respect y'all, man. It ain't nothing like that. I respect everybody in the chat. Y'all all know that. This is a debate. This is a discussion. And I know that the people that we have following us, y'all are real boxing fans. Yeah, y'all know how they know how we talk, and I know they're real boxing fans. So there's no disrespect to any of you guys. But use your logical reasoning on this situation. We're not saying that he's not turning it down. We're just saying it's too early to conclude that he's turning it down. That's all we're saying. Hey,
Siobhan, I disagree, dog. If that fight, I disagree. He's saying in the UK there will never be a mega fight at 5 p.m. on the Saturday, bro. You can't do that. Now, I disagree because when Anthony Joshua fought Klitschko, that was kind of a mega fight.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people did pay attention to.
I was driving home.
Yeah,
trying to get that fight, bro.
Right.
Driving from Houston.
As a matter of fact, when Errol Spence fought Kell Brook, you know what I'm saying? So I disagree on that one because really, you got to understand something. We have mega fights over here in the U.S. that motherfuckers watch in Japan and in the U.K. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What up, Chris?
So you can't use that time difference as that a mega fight like this, if it was to happen in the U.K., I believe you, dog. We would pay the fuck attention, bro. We would pay attention, man.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
What up, Chris? You ducking me, son. Quit ducking.
Hey, Chris ducking everybody. What's up, Too Tough?
What up, Too Tough?
What's good? But nah, real talk, Jordan. I appreciate your perspective. But like I said, all I'm trying to do is, or what we're trying to do is, we just want people to think logically. That's what we do on Three Kings, man. We straight down the fucking middle. You can go on the website and look at all the articles we post. You won't find out one biased article on that website. But you go to all these other ones, very biased. So that's all it is. We're trying to educate the fans. We want y'all to think logically about certain situations and not get trapped or entangled in this media spaghetti, I like to call it. When motherfuckers jump up, oh shit, Deontay Wilder just, he turned down $600 million to fight Oscar Rivas. Stupid shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Don't jump in, don't get entangled in that media spaghetti, man. And then you got a lot of these dumbass fans out there. Anything a motherfucker says that is negative towards a fighter they don't like, they gonna jump the gun too.
Right.
So, like my man Bo mentioned at the beginning of this topic, we don't support any one fighter. We support the sport. You feel me? We support the sport. I'm gonna answer that question right now. So we're not saying we support Wilder. We're not saying we support Anthony Joshua. We don't support Tyson Fury. We support everybody as a whole within the sport. You know what I'm saying? What's good, Michael? Let me answer Jordan's question. Logically, would you sign to the first deal offered as a free agent? Let me say this. If it's the fight that I've been looking for 3 years, absolutely motherfucking 100% unequivocally, yes.
Right. But hold on. Let me say this, though. That wasn't the first deal he
wasn't the first offer, right? ESPN gave him an offer.
ESPN gave him one prior to that.
Yeah.
Right.
ESPN
now, my man Siobhan, I gotta address this. Y'all are wild today, and this is what we like, right? You said that wasn't a mega fight. There's no such thing as a mega fight now watched by 1 million people. Yeah, it was a mega fight. Just because 1 million people didn't watch it, it was a mega fight. There's lots of fights that I could tell you, dog, because of streaming and other illegal ways to watch fights. You'll be hard pressed to get 1 million people to buy some shit on pay-per-view, right? But yeah, it was a mega fight, dude. And hey, I'm American too, bro. Okay, I don't know what they got to do with anything, but what I'm telling you is, right? If Wilder was to fight Anthony Joshua in Wembley with 100,000 motherfuckers, I'm telling you, you could have that in the UK and we would still watch it. The time difference is only 5 hours.
Yeah, no doubt. My man Too Tough said, you guys think an AJ versus Wilder pay-per-view is $100 million fight? I don't give a fuck, Too Tough. And Wilder shouldn't give a fuck either. You know what I'm saying? Shit, his guarantee is 100. Hey, listen, man. If a motherfucker come to me and say, "Hey, man, we're gonna pay you $8 million to do something," and then whatever I do only generates $100, I don't give a fuck. I got my $8 million.
I got my $8 million.
That's their problem for not being able to market the fight so they can get a return on their investment. That's their problem. But I still get my $8 million either way. So no, but to answer your question, I answer your question. What do you think, Bo? You think that's a $100 million fight, man? On the zone? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Tough. Bro. It's tough to say. It really is tough to say. I put it to you like this. I think they would get close. I think they do above $50-60 million.
Yeah.
I think that $100 million. That's kind of tough because, like I said, man, and I see my man comments. Floyd and Conor was a mega fight. Conor McGregor's from the MMA. You had them MMA fans come over there, bro. So that's different right there.
Oh yeah.
Floyd and Manny Pacquiao was a mega fight because that fight was built, just like Tyson and Lewis was built, just like Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua was built.
Yeah, it's built.
It was built, dog.
That shit marinated.
Right. And Anthony Joshua and Vladimir Klitschko was built.
Yeah.
Okay. So that was a mega fight. Now we might disagree on that. You talking about gross and all that? We might disagree. Okay, Floyd grossed over 300 million. Name me any other fight that did that over the last 10 years. Name me any fight that did 300 million. See, you use the numbers that kind of try to make your argument, but you're not expanding your argument to everybody else out there in boxing. You just expanded this one particular topic. Had the Canelo Alvarez and Gennady Golovkin, that was a mega fight. It didn't make 300 million. So what? That wasn't a mega fight. So I'm saying, man, you gotta be more realistic.
I just got a message right now while we're live, and the credible source that dropped the information about this whole ordeal, where he never actually said that Wilder is turning down the 100 million. He just said that, you know, Brazil won't be on the zone. I just got a message from him. He just basically said, we don't know how much money he's getting for the Brazil fight. And no one is saying he still won't fight Joshua.
Oh,
so that's what I'm saying, man. He's saying right now that, hey, don't jump the gun. We didn't say he's not gonna fight Joshua later.
Dog, right? Dog, totally disagree. Dog, I totally disagree with this. Listen, dog, my man Siobhan, you killing me, dog. Okay, he's saying, let me explain. The money from a mega fight comes from casual fans. Casual fans don't watch fights at 5 p.m. Me and you, but casual fans don't. Hardcores don't make the money for mega fights. One wrong. Hardcore.
Leave it alone, bro. We've already, you know, that's his opinion. There's cats in the chat that are already saying that they know a lot of people.
Like the casual fans are the one that want to see Deontay Wilder get his ass whooped, right? So you think the casual fans won't tune in?
Right. Like I said, there's people in the chat that have already confirmed. I mean, we know, but there's people in the same. Hold on. There's people in the same chat that have already confirmed. They know a bunch of people through social media that were looking for that fight. And I remember it. Motherfuckers was asking us like crazy if we was gonna stream that shit. When we didn't have Three Kings. Three Kings wasn't up yet.
Right.
But we had a group. And motherfuckers was like, you gonna stream it? Everybody was asking. It was crazy. You know what I'm saying? I know niggas that was, you know, driving home and shit, you know, going somewhere, going to eat with their wife or doing whatever the fuck they was doing, trying to get the shit on their phone.
Yeah.
You know, I remember when the shit was on Facebook. I can't remember the name of the stream on Facebook, but it's like a guy that has 5 different. Oh yeah. He streams like all these fucking fights.
That shit.
And he's got like 5 or 6 different profiles where he streams the fights because they keep getting shut down by Facebook. Man, that shit had over 10,000 viewers, man.
Man,
on that motherfucker. Niggas from the UK ain't viewing that shit on Facebook. They're right there.
My man Too Tough said if he turns down the offer, maybe because they may think they can do better on pay-per-view than him getting 40 million.
Yeah.
Dude, you know what, man? That's a possibility. You know what I'm saying? That's definitely a possibility. But again, we gotta wait and see, because the reality is, if they're giving him 100 mil, bro, shit. If Wilder don't sign a 100 million deal, it's an obvious duck. If you know what, I put it to you like this, Raider. If people call it that, I will not argue.
Hey, Chevin Bodie, there's 19 people in this chat, but on Facebook, we have over 30,000 followers. On my website, I get 75,000 people on my website daily.
Yeah, man.
You got anything else? You got anything else? I mean, you cool. Your opinion is cool, but don't try to pull rank on this shit, dog. Don't do that. You get yourself blocked for some stupid shit like that. We don't care about you disagreeing, but don't try to pull rank, dog. For real. All right. My man Barker Raider said if Wilder don't sign that $100 million deal, it's an obvious duck. Hey, man, listen. I'm not one to say anybody's ducking in. I don't get into that shit. But you guys have an argument. You know what I'm saying? It's a fucking ridiculous deal. He's going to get the fight he wants.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, dog.
Yeah, yeah. Because like I said, dog, when you say is it obvious, duck, I'm just telling you, if people say it, I will not argue. Now, if he signs with ESPN to fight Tyson Fury because he wants that rematch, now we got a different, you know what I'm saying? Now we got a different argument, man.
Yeah, it is what it is, man. But like Bo said, I would be upset. A lot of us are going to be upset, and it's not because we support Deontay Wilder. He's our favorite fighter. I tell cats all the time, I don't have a favorite fighter. I love the sport, man. I don't give a fuck who wins what. Just like the topic we about to do next. I don't care who wins that fight. You know, I know what I know
hey,
what.
Man, hey, 2K, can I just say one thing?
Go ahead.
My man Siobhan Bodie comment. You see that?
Yeah.
Hey, Siobhan Bodie, I just got one thing to say to you. I lead George Foreman. All right, go ahead, man.
All right, but
and you know what I'm saying, right, 2K?
Yeah, I know what you're saying, man. We're going. It is what it is. And like I said, everybody's got their opinion. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, it is what it is.
It's cool.
But,
it's cool.
Well, you know, like I said, the shit we about to do in a minute here, I don't give a fuck who wins that fight. That's the biggest fight of this weekend. You know what I'm saying? It might be the biggest fight in the second, third, fourth biggest fight this year. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, I mean, we don't. It's not that we sitting here like, oh, man, we hope Deontay Wilder, you know, does this because I really like him. No, we hope he signs the deal because it is a fucking gateway to get to Anthony Joshua. And I told you guys before, I don't know what episode it was, 7, 6, 8, 5, whatever episode of the podcast I said it on. I told you guys, Deontay Wilder may need to sign a small contract to be able to fight Anthony Joshua or Tyson Fury, whoever he's going for, because those guys are tied to networks. ESPN has a better chance of wanting to split the network proceeds with a Showtime or Fox, kind of like what Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao did. HBO and Showtime split the proceeds. ESPN is a big enough entity where they might be okay to do that. You see what I'm saying? They might be okay to do that shit. But I told you guys on the podcast before, and we had a lot of cats disagreeing with us. I said Tyson Fury and ESPN have an opportunity to freeze Deontay Wilder out. And this is before Tyson Fury came out and said, yeah, we're not fighting him. And what happened? He came out it was like 2-3 days after the podcast aired. He goes, yeah, we're not fighting him. He froze him out. Now on the same podcast, we told y'all Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearn can freeze Deontay Wilder out. What has Eddie Hearn already came out and said? If Deontay Wilder wants to fight Anthony Joshua, guess where it's got to be? On the zone.
On the zone.
Where does that comment, where do you get familiarity with that comment from?
Yeah.
He said
Anthony Joshua.
Hold on. He said the same thing to Gennady Golovkin.
Yep.
He said, if you want to fight Canelo for a third time, you got to sign with the zone.
Yep.
So that is a statement that basically supports what I told you cats 4 podcasts ago. They need to follow us, dog. We know what we're talking about, man.
Yeah.
That supports that supports my statement and Bo's statement where we told y'all they could freeze Deontay Wilder out. Go ahead, man.
Anthony Joshua himself, Tyson Fury told Deontay, you better come over and get some of this money, right? When he signed with ESPN, then Anthony Joshua told him, listen, Deontay going to have to figure out to make a move. Otherwise, he's going to be left out because, you know, you got me over here, you got Tyson over there.
Word.
Okay. So I've always said the following thing, which was, hey, man, I understand Deontay likes being a free agent, but he's gonna now. I stood firm on this. I said I don't think he should sign a 5-fight deal with ESPN. 3 fights, cool, but not 5 fights. I've said that, right? But at the same time, I've always expressed that if you want that fight, you just may have to sign one of them entities. The same thing I said about Charlo. Well, on our last show, we talked about Charlo in the middleweight division. I said he's gonna have to sign with fucking DAZN. Because everybody in the middleweight division over there, he's gonna have to fucking sign with them if he wants to get that fight. Because the WBC ain't taking that belt off Canelo. They waited too long to get him on. Okay, so Deontay Wilder, he's gonna have to sign. That's why I'm saying, even if he signs with Showtime or Fox because they match the deal, no. They don't get you to Tyson Fury, which is linear, which is it don't get you a fight with the two of the top heavyweights in the division right now. Hey, look, Siobhan, dog, we know you got your own opinion, dog. We know you're entitled to it. You know what I'm saying? But when you come on this show, just be ready for that pushback. That's all I'm telling you.
Let me answer Jordan's question. He said, if Wilder versus AJ happens, will UK fans be able to view it via Sky Sports BT, or will they have to pay the pay-per-view price? It's going to be on Sky Sports pay-per-view. And their pay-per-view over there is not like ours over here. Ours is like fucking $70. Theirs is like $25.
Yeah,
you know
$20.
Especially
if you have the Matchroom, if you subscribe to Matchroom, it's like the equivalency of $25, $22, man.
Yeah. So over here in the US, we'd watch it on DAZN if Wilder signs with DAZN. And then of course over there, it'd be on Sky Sports pay-per-view. Absolutely. Siobhan, like I said, man.
Of course, bro.
It's all love, it's all debate. Everybody got their opinions. We don't mind anybody disagreeing with us.
No,
that's what's up.
Man. That's what's up. That's how, honestly, dog, that's how, that's how everybody learns.
Absolutely.
That's how everybody learns. So
absolutely.
Hey, we've been on this motherfucker for a minute. Yeah. And the room is filled, dog. We got almost 40 motherfuckers on the channel. Hey, Siobhan, there's 40 motherfuckers on the channel now, dog. Shout that out. I'm just fucking with you.
That ain't shit. We need way more than that. Hit that like button and share this shit.
That like button.
We need way more than that. That ain't nothing. All right, man. Let's go on to the next topic. And of course, we about to jump back into something real big. And I've been waiting, dog. I couldn't wait to do this shit, bro. And bro, I'm gonna confess something, man.
All right, what's good?
I almost did this shit without you, dog. Yo,
hey, man, I got a confession too, man. I was set up to do the motherfucker without.
That motherfucker set the shit up, boy.
I was just waiting to hit the go live button. Wait.
I couldn't wait, man, to do this shit. Anybody new to this channel, go check out some of my old videos. You'll know why I got the reputation of a breakdown expert. I do this shit, man. This is what we do. We break this shit down live while we watching the TV. We could break down shit to the white meat. You know what I'm saying? Any fighter you want to talk about, we can break it down to the white meat in a technical aspect. You know what I'm saying? Errol Spence versus Mikey Garcia. I've been getting messages like crazy, bro, on Facebook. Motherfuckers been hitting. Niggas emailed me, bro. Them niggas emailed me.
I know, dog.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, when you gonna do the breakdown? What we doing it now? And them motherfuckers might be in here now, dog. I'ma wait on my shit though, because guests get to go first. You know what I'm saying?
Get the fuck out of here. Nah.
Oh, you don't want me to do it? Because I'll kill this shit. It's gonna be like 40 minutes of me. You're gonna be like, damn, nigga, shut up. Let me go. You already know. Shit. So what we're gonna do though is we're gonna break this shit down to the white meat. Errol Spence versus Mikey Garcia, one of the biggest fights of 2019. And shit, it might be the biggest fight up to this point. Of course, I know we got Anthony Joshua, Jermell Miller. And while the marketing of that fight is making that fight bigger and more people are getting intrigued because you got Anthony Joshua freestyling and shit, talking shit. You got Jermell Miller freestyling. Both of them went on, what is it, Shady 45 on Sirius.
Sway in the morning.
Yeah, Sway in the morning. That's on Shady 45, yeah. They both went on there freestyling. You got Jermell Miller who did a bolo push on that nigga in the first press conference and pushed him all across the stage. The marketing is building that fight to where people actually want to see it, right? And then of course you got the whole things with the fight being in Jermell Miller's backyard and all of that shit, right?
Right.
But this fight, Errol Spence, Mikey Garcia, hasn't been that much marketing. But I say it's up there in terms of people wanting to watch it as a Jermell Miller, Anthony Joshua. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, it's on Fox pay-per-view, right? I just looked at the ticket prices for my man. My man wants to come from San Antonio. He asked me, he's like, "You gonna be at the fight?" "Yeah, I'll be at the fight as media." He's like, "Well, you know what the tickets are." I was like, "I don't know. Let me look at it." You know what I'm saying? I'll be on the.
We never had to look at how much tickets cost for a fight.
Yeah, well, Three Kings Boxing will be on the floor and shit, but we ain't paying for that. You know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah.
But I looked at the tickets, fam. The most I seen was $5,200.
Damn.
$5,200, man. You know what I'm saying? If you want to sit where Derek James was sitting for Sergey Kovalev, Alida Alvarez, bro, where you went over there and talked to Derek James.
Yeah.
If you want to sit in that section, that shit was a G.
Get the fuck out of here.
That shit was a G, fam. So it's the ticket prices are ridiculous because
I got to say to one of our members, you better marry that girl.
Yeah. Boy, nah, he going by himself, man. He going by himself. He going by himself. But anyway, man, let's jump into this shit, though. Let's jump into this shit, man. Errol Spence versus Mikey Garcia, man. Bo, give me your breakdown and prediction.
Man, I hate you for this one, G. I really hate you.
And it better be good, motherfucker. I'm going to mute your ass.
Man, I hate you for this one, but here we go right here. You got Errol Spence, the IBF champion, and you got the cat that's undefeated. You got the dude that, at one point had Sean Porter shook. Well, Errol Spence, I ain't mentioned his name. He ain't talking about him in 2 years. Now, all of a sudden, he want to jump in the ring on him. You got Keith Thurman. They were like, it's not on my to-do list. Now, all of a sudden, it's, hey, Errol, it's nice to meet you. I'll see you. We're going to come, our paths going to cross, right?
Yeah.
All right. Then you got Mikey Garcia. You have probably the most technically sound fighter coming out of the Oxnard boxing camp, right? Mikey Garcia is the 4-division weight champion. Mike Garcia is undefeated. We've seen Mikey Garcia actually fight a variety of fighters where we have seen him. We've seen some of the things in his arsenal, like when he fought Robert Easter Jr., who was the taller fighter with the longer arm reach. We saw him fight Adrian Broner, who was the more athletic fighter, right? Here's the thing, man. Going up against Errol Spence. Errol Spence is a vicious body puncher. Errol Spence is an aggressive fighter. Errol Spence has excellent foot placement because he rarely gets caught up in tripping or slips or feet getting tangled up. You rarely see that from Errol Spence. Okay,
good point.
He comes forward very intelligently. Like Errol Spence don't waste motion. He don't waste punches and he don't waste motion. When he's coming at you, he knows what he's coming at you for. He knows what he's aiming for. Okay. All right. Another good thing about Errol Spence is that Errol Spence has the ability to pressure you and counter you at the same time. Now that's very hard to do. Not a lot of fighters can pressure you and look to counter. Errol Spence can pressure you and counter you at the same time. He was doing that a lot to Kell Brook. But the bad thing about Errol stays on the center line too damn long for me. Another bad thing about Errol, he doesn't move his head.
Preach.
And the really, really, really bad thing about Errol Spence is he doesn't always look to build everything off the jab. He paused with the jab. It's not that He paused with that jab. It's almost like he's using it as a rangefinder to gauge his distance because he's just looking to get inside and work you at your body. And the very last thing that bothers me about Errol, he keeps his head too high when throwing punches, which causes him to get caught in the exchanges. Now let's look at Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia probably has excellent footwork without being super athletic. That's very hard to do. Yeah. Trust me, I know.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Another thing about Mikey Garcia, we all know Mikey Garcia is an excellent counter puncher. Okay. We all know Mikey Garcia ring IQ is very high. Mikey can make adjustments, split-second adjustments. Like if you do something once to Mikey, you won't be able to get away with it again. Okay. All right. Another thing about Mikey Garcia, he's very good at getting you out of position. Mikey Garcia is always in position, but he's good at getting you out of position. Exalicatane, the guy he knocked out, he spent him around and knocked him the fuck out.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Ask Robert Easton Jr. Robert Easton Jr. punch and put his hands up right away because he didn't know where the fuck Mikey went for a minute. Okay, right. So he's always good at getting you out of place while he's staying in place. Now, here's the bad thing about Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia will have moments where he will let you back into the fight. Mikey Garcia will have moments where he gets up against the ropes, and instead of holding his hands up, he immediately tries to slide left or slide right while ducking punches instead of putting his hands up and moving like that.
Right.
Okay. That can be a problem. He can get clipped with something. And I'm not too confident because I saw this happen in the Broner fight. I didn't see an Easter fight, but his nose, Broner had his nose bleeding. And I that can be a problem against a cat like Errol Spence that hit very hard. Okay. And one final thing about Mikey Garcia that I'm really not crazy about is Mikey tends to, like when he's trying to get that little break, he tends to stand outside of you with his hands down while he's trying to get that little break.
Yes,
right?
He does.
You don't want to make that mistake against a cat like Errol Spence. Excellent fight. I think what we're going to see is Errol Spence's style of being aggressive plays into a style of a Mikey Garcia that is a technical fighters like you to be aggressive. They want you to come at them because they know they have the advantage, especially when I can get you out of position, especially when I can counter you and I can use my technical skill to kind of keep you off balance. Now, we don't know everything that Errol Spence has in his tool shed because I'm going to put it like this. Okay, I'm going to take you guys back to a fight, which is Terence Crawford versus Ugarkis Gamboa. Gamboa was the smaller man that came up to fight Terence Crawford. A little bit of history for those of y'all that don't know, right? Just similar to this. Now, Gamboa didn't come up no two-weight classes, but he came up nonetheless. And he was all for a whole year too, right? Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? So let's, you know what I'm saying? So let's talk about that, right? So it was in that fight with Gamboa that Terence Crawford turned the corner. And he will tell you that was the toughest fight of my career. Mm-hmm. And from that fight, he turned the corner. We just might see this out of Errol Spence. This might be the fight he needs to be a tough, hard fight. Yeah. So we can finally see if he really is the truth. See, this is that test. Go ahead.
What about Kell Brook, though? Wasn't that fight the turning point that told everybody he was the truth?
No, because Kell Brook was damaged goods from Gennady Golovkin.
Excellent point. That's what I'm talking about. My man knows his shit.
All right, there you go. Kell Brooks was damaged goods, and I'm gonna say this, and a lot of y'all are not gonna like it. Kell Brooks actually was being extremely effective until the eye came into place. Once that situation with the eye came into place, he reverted back into his mind, back to the Golovkin fight. Everybody got that one choice in them when it's life or death time to choose. Hey, I'm going life or death. But very few people is going to pick to do that shit twice. Right. So when that happened to Kell Brook, he reverted back into his mind.
Right.
But prior to that eye coming into place, Kell Brook was being very effective with Errol. Kell Brook was hitting Errol with uppercuts. Mikey, very punch he likes to throw is the uppercut. That's what he knocked Zalakatanen out with, was that uppercut. So the biggest thing for me is the weight now with Mikey. Mikey is coming up from 135 to 147. Now, he did make a stop at 140. Let's make that clear. He made a stop at 140. And by making that stop at 140, that's when Mikey felt, oh, I could do 147 and fight Errol Spence. Not Keith Thurman, not Sean Porter, not even Danny goddamn fucking Garcia. He said Errol Spence. Right? Okay. So he goes down to 135. But Mikey has come up to 147 the right way. He got his brother there. He got his pediatrician there. He's getting his weight up. So he ain't just coming up. And Mikey did look a little soft around the middle at 140.
Oh, yeah. He looked like he was eating cupcakes and ho-hos before
that
fight, dog. Oh, I was like, this nigga needs to do some abs. He need to get on them crunches. What's that shit? What's that shit in the 90s, bro?
The ab roller.
Yeah, he need that 90s ab roller, dog. Hell yeah.
Hey, don't talk about that. I still got mine, nigga. I still got mine.
Hey, everybody got one. That shit just sits in the corner, nigga. Nobody uses it.
hey, it do got some Caldwells around it.
Hell yeah.
I tell you. So Mikey was a little soft around the middle. So my thing is this weight, because by Errol Spence being a body puncher, what I don't want to see is for Errol to think he can get Mikey in the later rounds, then jump on him. Mikey Garcia is too smart of a fighter for you to let that happen to him. Word. So I'm liking this fight. I don't want to take too much because I want to hear what my man 2K say so I can shoot his shit down.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
One more big thing is, how will Mikey respond when he do get hit to the face with one of them big punches? The body is one thing.
Nigga, fuck that.
Well, the body is one thing. The body one thing. We know Errol Spence is a good body puncher.
Yeah.
Right. But Errol was talking about clipping Mikey Garcia on that chin.
He did say that.
Here's the funny thing about being hit on the chin. You can have a good chin, and that's fine. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is this: when you have not been hit on your chin for a very long time, Roy Jones Jr., and you get hit for the first time, you haven't happened to you in a long time, it does cause a little bit of a shock to your body. How he responds when he gets that very first flush punch to that chin is going to be very, very key. So,
perfect example, Andre Ward, Sergey Kovalev.
Yeah, Andre. Yep, there you go. That's right. When Andre Ward got that first punch from Kovalev, he went down, dropped it, but he got back up and made the adjustment. That's what I'm going to be looking for I'm looking for in Mikey, because this is the third undefeated championship fight that Mikey Garcia is going to be in. Okay, that's not likely. Mikey Garcia is telling Errol, "Hey man, I'm gonna fight you in your backyard in front of your bitches, your hoes, your daughters, your kids, whatever." You know what I'm saying? Hey man, y'all bring the ribs. You can bring the Dallas Cowboys. I'm coming to whoop that ass. Mikey's been consistent on that. So I don't think he did this to get run over. So if he do get ran over, right, then hey, it is what it is. But for me, at the end of the day, if we gave credit to Lomachenko versus Rigo, if we gave credit to Gennady Golovkin when he fought Kell Brook, then we better give motherfucking credit to Errol Spence if he beats Mikey.
And if we gave credit to Canelo for knocking out Amir Khan.
Yeah. That's right. That's right. So
my man said
gonna win this fight, dog?
Hold on, my man said 2K waiting patiently to counter like Floyd versus Philip Nadeau. It might not be that bad, bro. We might be on the same page. We'll see.
Hey,
we'll see.
Hey, we might. All right, my
what you got, bro?
Who do I think gonna win the fight? I'm hoping for a draw.
This nigga said,
I'm hoping for a draw.
Get the fuck out of here. Are you kidding me? Did this motherfucker just say a draw?
I'm hoping for a draw.
He said a draw, fam. Y'all heard this, right? Too tough. Dejan's Latitianin was undefeated. He was 22-0, family. He was 22-0. All right, man. I ain't going out like that.
My man Julio Ortega, I ain't giving credit to none of them fools. But then, hey, if that's the case, then Julio, which I know you're joking, then you better not have gave credit to none of them other fools either.
Hey, man, yeah. That nigga Julio know what's up, man. What's good,
man? Yeah, he know he ain't bullshit.
Listen, man. Listen.
Talk about, hey, Mike.
Listen, man. Yeah, it was a cop-out. You're right, Mike. Shout out to Mike Wilson. That's one of my writers at 3kingsboxing.com. Check out his fight preview that's going up with Katie Taylor and Rose Volante. Hold on, bro. And if this motherfucker actually get off his ass, he'll write the fight preview of Kosei Tanaka versus Ryoichi Taguchi next. That's a hint to you, Mike.
Yeah, right.
All right, man. Let me tell you something, man. I ain't going out like Bo. You know, like my man Kane said in the famous movie Menace to Society. I ain't going out like Willie Lump Lump. You know what I'm saying? In this case, it's Bo Lump Lump. I ain't going out like Bo Lump Lump. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to pick a motherfucking winner. But first, I want to direct you to a fight. There's a couple of fights that I've talked about a lot, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to Errol Spence. And the problems that I see when I fucking see Errol Spence in the ring. I think he's a phenomenal talent. You know what I'm saying? He's a good fighter. I've seen Errol Spence live in the gym. You know what I'm saying? I have one of my writers, actually, one of my contributors. He sparred in the same gym as Errol Spence multiple times. You know what I'm saying? He's been up close and personal with Errol Spence. He's never sparred with him, but he sparred some of the same guys that Errol Spence has sparred, right? So he's a phenomenal talent. He's one of those guys that can break you down and turn you straight up into fluid in the ring, starting with the body. You know what I'm saying? Look at Kell Brook. That motherfucker came into that ring solid, got turned into a liquid. You know what I'm saying? By the end of the fight. That's the type of shit Errol Spence is capable of doing. But the one thing that I've always mentioned about Errol Spence is his lack of head movement. And I've always said, when I watch fight number one, I'm going to direct you to Chris Van Heerden jabbing the fuck out of Errol Spence's head. while it's on a center line. He couldn't miss a jab even if he wanted to. And it wasn't a dynamic jab. No, it was the same kind of fucking jab. It was the same kind of fucking jab. Just sharp, straight, fast jab. He didn't vary it at all. And Errol Spence kept running into it. Now, he was doing that because he was trying to knock the guy out. I understand that. But you still have to be technically sound, right? And that tells me that, shout out to my man Derek James. I respect him a lot. Bo has a pretty good relationship with him. But I will say, I don't like how Derek James didn't emphasize on head movement early in Errol Spence's career. He's always had the head movement problem, even back when he was losing to the Omar Figueroas in the amateurs. When he was losing to the Brian Castanos in the amateurs, he had the head movement problem. And he brought it to the pros at the elite level. That's a problem. All right. Number two, Errol Spence plods. He's flat-footed. He can bounce. He has the ability, but he gets so caught up in mounting his offensive attack to turn that solid into liquid at the starting with the body that he starts to plod and become one-dimensional in terms of being a flat-footed fighter standing on the center line. See, Errol Spence relies more so on brawn than he does brains. He's not really, in my opinion, in there utilizing as much intelligence as I think he would need to utilize at the elite level to be successful as an undefeated fighter, retire undefeated Hall of Famer. You got to utilize a certain amount of intelligence to get to that point. If you're fighting the right guys, I would say, I don't think he does that. I think Errol Spence is kind of like a Jermell Charlo, not Jermell, not his stablemate, Jermell, the other one, right? Where they are like, hey, I'm the alpha male in this motherfucker. Ain't nobody beating me. So if I'm losing a fight, what I do is I turn up the pressure. I turn up the pressure and try to wither my opponent, right? Look at the Kell Brook fight, for example. Kell Brook was doing excellent work for the first 5 rounds. He didn't win all those rounds, obviously, but he was doing excellent work, right? One of the problems that Errol Spence was doing, and he does this frequently, this is a tendency, he likes to feint before he goes down to the body, but he's slow at doing it. He's not fast at it. You know what I'm saying? He's not fast at feinting and going to the body, basically getting your opponent to think, oh shit, he's going to throw the jab. Let me look out for that. Kell Brook was able to pick that off at times. Not only was he able to pick that off at times, he was able to come over the top with the straight right hand, or he would throw a check hook and make Errol Spence reset at times. Other times, Errol Spence showed that he's wide open straight down the middle against Kell Brook, right? I already told you about Chris Van Heerden. Kell Brook was money with his straight right hand down the middle. Okay, he was money, right? I'll even take you to a third fight. Alejandro Barrera. This is another journeyman that Errol Spence knocked out. But before he knocked him out, Alejandro Barrera was landing the hardest punch it is to land in boxing. Do you know what that punch is? It is the lead uppercut from the outside. That is the most difficult punch to land in boxing. See, the uppercut is an up close and personal type of shot, right? A lot of times, if you want to land an uppercut from the outside, well, what do you got to do to get it to get it home? You got to lunge in. Well, when you lunge in, what happens? You leave yourself open to counters, right? Yep. It's the most difficult punch in boxing. But Alejandro Barrera was landing it at will on Errol Spence. Again, just like Chris Van Heerden didn't miss a jab, Barrera didn't miss an uppercut from the outside. That's a fucking problem. Why? Because his head was on the center line, right? This is why Kell Brook had so much success. He was just timing that head. Oh, you're going to feint, go to the body? All right, bet. Oh, you're going to throw that jab over the top? Well, let me go. Or you're going to throw that jab? Let me go over the top with the right hand, straight down the middle, because you're going to leave your head where it's at. Now, another thing that Errol Spence does, he tries to incorporate some type of head movement, but he dips a little bit. Exactly, Texan. They did perfect that lead uppercut. Roy Jones was really good at it. So was Finito. But Errol Spence will try to dip a little bit to the left, but it's not enough to get himself out of range for a straight right hand because he pulls it right back right before he throws a jab, right? He does that sometimes too before he throws a straight left hand, but he'll dip it to the other side. A very intelligent fighter will time that shit at will. At will. Okay? The problem I have is with Mikey Garcia in this fight is, number one, he doesn't move the way that I need him to move against Errol Spence. We talked about that, Bo. We talked about Mikey Garcia's
Yes, we did.
I've been watching some of his old fights. He doesn't move, or his recent fights anyway. He didn't move very well against Robert Easter Jr.
Well, you know why, but go ahead.
Well, he did. Go ahead, tell me. Go ahead and tell me that. Go ahead.
I'm going to say the reason why he don't have head movement because Mikey Garcia depends on his defensive ability to get out of position and get back in position.
Well, let me tell you this: he didn't really do that against Robert Easter either. Robert Easter Jr. either. Robert Easter Jr. did an excellent job timing him with his jab. The problem with Robert Easter Jr. is he gives up his fucking height and reach in every goddamn fight he's in, right? But he was timing the fuck out of Mikey Garcia with that jab. You see what I'm saying? Mikey Garcia was running to that bitch every single time. Another thing that Mikey Garcia does, he lunges in with his own jab. He lunges, fam. Have y'all seen that? He takes before he throws a jab.
He gets Broner.
Before he throws a jab, he takes a step forward, then he throws it. That's a no-no in boxing. You don't take a step forward before you throw the jab. Every good coach is going to tell you, don't ever telegraph your jab with what you do with your lead foot. Every good coach tells you that. You know what I'm saying? But he did it against Robert Easter Jr. And what was Robert Easter Jr. doing? Coming over the top of it. At times he was getting hit by it because Robert Easter Jr. is not a fucking smart fighter. I think Errol Spence is a smarter fighter than Robert Easter Jr., but he has less in his tool chest, right? I think Errol Spence is more of a watered down Marvin Hagler. And I say that because Marvin Hagler could box from the outside. He could do that, even though a lot of times he didn't, right? But the tenacity that Marvin Hagler brought into the ring, Errol Spence has that same tenacity, right? But he doesn't vary it. He's like, shit, you know, like I said earlier, if I'm losing the fight, then I'm going to basically turn it up. I'm going to turn up the pressure. You know what I'm saying? That's all he does, right? But I need Mikey Garcia to move, Bo. If he doesn't move, guess what? It turns into a fight where he's trying to alpha male Errol Spence. And just like I said, before J-Rock and Jermell Charlo fought, I said the reason why Jermell Charlo was going to beat the dust off of J-Rock is because guys like Jermell and guys like Errol, you can't alpha male those dudes. You can't. You lose that battle every single time. Mikey Garcia coming up 2 weight classes, that is going to be easy work for Errol Spence if he tries to beat an alpha male in that ring, right? Like he did against Robert Easter Jr. and like he did against Sergey Limpinets. The Sergey Limpinets fights, he was hit so much, I was like, yo, what the fuck is he doing? And I started blaming his conditioning because his stomach was so fucking fat. He can't do that in this fight. He needs to fight Errol Spence with the type of movement he displayed against Orlando Salido at 126 and the type of movement he displayed when he got the WBC title against Dejan Zlaticanin. That's the kind of movement he has to display in this fight, right? On the other hand, Errol Spence, if he's smart, he's going to be first. He's got the reach and the height advantage, and he's the bigger man. Be first. Don't go in there overzealous saying, fuck it, I'm bigger than this nigga. I'm about to whoop his motherfucking ass. Don't do that. Throw the jab, fam. Be smart on the outside. Jab your way in. Be the excellent boxer puncher we know you can be. But be smart and keep your head off the center line. I don't know, man. I was talking to my man Blake. Shout out to my man Blake. Another one of my writers for 3kingsboxing.com. I told him, I said, yo, this fight has the opportunity to be a Marvin Hagler versus Sugar Ray Leonard. And let me explain this. I'm not saying Mikey Garcia is Sugar Ray Leonard. I'm not saying that they have the same style or anything of that nature. The way that the way that Sugar Ray Leonard had to fight Marvin Hagler is the same way Mikey Garcia has to fight Errol Spence. And I already mentioned Errol Spence has the same base style in terms of the tenacity and the mid-range to inside game as a Marvin Hagler, right? Mikey Garcia has to fight Errol Spence the same way Sugar Ray Leonard did. And that is establish distance. Make sure you keep him on the end of your jab if you can. But you have to. It is imperative that you keep the volume up and attempt to outpunch Errol Spence. Understand you're in Dallas. understand you got all Errol Spence's bitches and hoes watching. You know what I'm saying? All his hoes is watching, dog. You know what I'm saying? The fucking the fucking motivation is all Errol Spence right now. You've given him the upper hand, and I gotta give Mikey Garcia credit. Major fucking balls, dog. Yeah. Major balls. Not only did he say, I see something, I'll fight. I'm so confident in what I see. I'll fight the motherfucker in his backyard and at his weight class. Major balls, dog. You know what I'm saying? Right? But I understand what you're saying, Lawrence, Hagler, Duran. I understand what you're saying. But the reason why I say Sugar Ray Leonard is because I'm not saying that it's comparative in terms of how the fight is going to go. I'm saying how Mikey Garcia has to fight. Mm-hmm. He can't fight Hagler like how Duran did. He'll lose. You know what I'm saying? He has to fight Errol Spence how Sugar Ray Leonard fought Hagler. He has to win the last minute of every round, basically, is what I'm saying, with volume. Okay? That's what he's got to do. And he's got to be able to establish the distance. The reason why Sugar Ray Leonard won that fight, besides because he fought the last minute of every round, is because he established great distance. And the judges saw that as him showing the better ring generalship than Marvin Hagler. Marvin Hagler was consistently trying to reposition himself in the fight and trying to take over the fight with his repositioning. That's what he was doing to him. You see what I'm saying? That's what Mikey Garcia has to do. Make Errol Spence reposition constantly and show the judges that you are putting forth a lot of value, right? Mm-hmm. You're establishing the distance and you have the ring generalship battle under your wing. That's what he has to show. All right. Yo, prediction time. Coming up to this shit, man, I told a lot of motherfuckers a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? It's very hard, fam, if you've never been taught head movement at an early age. It's very because it becomes a tendency that you keep your head. It's not even just your head, it's your body movements. Like, think about like how you walk, right? Everybody has their own way of walking. Yeah. Like, I walk with a limp. That's just what it is. If I try to change it up and try to be stiff and shit, you know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna work. Because my natural tendency is to have a small limp in my walk. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing in boxing. If you've been doing something for so long, you can't change it in one training camp. It's the same thing with Tyson Fury and Vladimir Klitschko. I said the reason why, before that fight happened, again, another prediction that I got right, I said Tyson Fury is going to dominate Vladimir Klitschko because he's going to turn him into an inside fighter, which is something Vladimir has never done before, ever in his career, right? First time here, family, hit that like. Appreciate you being here. But I said that's what he
missed a hell of a breakdown.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, he did. Go back and rewind that shit. We murdered this, bro. But that's why I said Tyson Fury was going to defeat Vladimir Klitschko. He was going to turn him into an inside fighter, and that's something Vladimir's never done, right? Same thing here. If he makes it to where Errol Spence consistently keeps his head on the line and he's searching for Mikey Garcia in the ring, well, then Mikey's going to be landing punches at will, just like Alejandro Barrera and Chris Van Heerden did. All right. Prediction time. I'm going Errol Spence, dog. I told a lot of cats Mikey Garcia was going to win this fight. I told a lot of cats Mikey Garcia was going to win this fight. But when you factor in where the fight is at, what Mikey Garcia has to go through to win this fight, everything that is in Errol Spence's favor, outside the ring and inside the ring. The fact that I watched Mikey Garcia not move the way I need him to move against, basically in his last two fights. Last three fights, he didn't move that well against Adrian Broner either. I haven't seen Mikey Garcia move the way I need him to move against Errol Spence since he fought Dejan Zlaticanin. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So unless he fixes that movement, I got to go with Errol Spence. But I don't think it's a wash. I think this is a very close fight. I got Errol Spence by majority decision here, okay? But as a betting man, I got my money on Mikey Garcia. I'm going to put money on Mikey Garcia, not on Errol Spence. My money's going on Mikey Garcia. That's the better play. Yeah, y'all can call me Dwyer and shit. That's the better player. That's the better play. Put your money on Mikey Garcia, but say Errol Spence is going to win. Yeah, Mike, all I got to do is watch training camp, watch the tendencies, and Errol Spence is going to win this fight. That's what I've come up with, man. You're right. I have been saying Mikey was going to win, but that's what it comes up with. I got Errol on points, just like my man Texan said, man. All right. So that's going to be that, man. We'll see. March 16th. Going to be a big motherfucker. And 3 Kings will be in the building. Bo, what you got for me next, dog?
Man, next up, dog. Let's go ahead on and talk about it. Let's go ahead on and do this. Since we on breakdowns, let's go ahead on and keep the breakdowns going, all right? You got Kosei Tanaka versus Ryoichi Taguchi. Now, y'all mark that down. I said them names motherfucking correctly.
Yeah, for the first time ever.
That breakdown of that fight. Now, a lot of y'all don't know nothing about Kosei Tanaka. Kosei Tanaka actually tied Vasily Lomachenko for winning 3 titles in 3 separate weight divisions in under 10 fights. Okay. But because we're talking about the lower weight division, a lot of people don't pay attention to that. Okay.
Yeah.
My man Prodigy has actually gone as far as to say, you know, after watching film and video, I have to say he has a point that Kosei Tanaka is probably even a better fighter than the monster Naoya Inoue.
Now, hold on. Understand, people. Naoya Inoue is a top 5 pound-for-pound fighter. Y'all know who he is by now. I've been pushing him on my channel for a long time.
A long time, yep.
He's a top 5 pound-for-pound fighter. Hell, I said he should have won 2014 Fighter of the Year over Terrence Crawford because he beat Adrian Hernandez and my guy, what's his name? Lineal champion. Jesus. Omar Narvaez.
Oh, yeah, right. Yep.
Same year, in under 10 fights. He was a 2-weight champion under 10 fights in the same year. You know what I'm saying? I said he should have won it that year, right? So for us to say that Kosei Tanaka might be a better fighter than Naoya Inoue, this is a guy you got to watch.
Yes,
go ahead, bro.
You got to watch him. Now, this is actually a better fight than a lot of people are looking at it on paper. Okay. Of course, you got Kosei, you got Ryoichi Taguchi, who's had 3 losses, right? But then, of course, you look over there and you got Kosei Tanaka, who has no losses. But here's the thing. This will probably be one of the better fighters that Kosei Tanaka has actually faced in a very long time. And this will also probably be one of the more taller fighters that Kosei Tanaka has faced in a long time. Now, of course, I know some of y'all gonna say, if you've been paying attention, oh, Bo, he fought he fought Sho Kamara, right? And yeah, he did. He beat Sho Kamara. He also fought Angel Acosta, and he beat him, right? But Ryoichi Taguchi brings something to the game that Tanaka is going to have to deal with. He's going to have to actually deal with somebody being the bigger man for a change.
Yep.
And he's going to actually have to deal with when I mean bigger man, I mean weight-wise. And he's going to actually have to deal with somebody that has an arm reach advantage on him and somewhat decent boxing skills and movement.
Go ahead.
Cause him, huh?
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Mike just said something I'm about to dominate, but go ahead. Mike, I'm coming for you, Mike. I'm coming for you, dog.
Hey, coming for you, Mike. You coming, dog. Right? So when I look at this right here, it's an intriguing fight. Now, I think Tanaka's gonna win because I think some of the things that Ryoichi Taguchi does fits in favor of Tanaka. Number one, Ryoichi Taguchi will stand on the outside and he will not work his jab. He'll keep his hands down, and he likes to do that bouncing where he bounce forward and bounce back to try to get you to do some type of movement. Okay, that's something that Ryoichi Taguchi does that I'm not a big fan of. All right, Ryoichi Taguchi can be hit by the overhand right. All right, you don't want a cat like Tanaka hitting you with the overhand right. All right, some things Tanaka does I'm not a big fan of. Tanaka sometimes, dog, I'm not. He, for whatever reason, when he's punching, he's too his feet are side by side too much for me when he's punching. That's why, like, sometimes when he's punching and he's coming forward, he's missing a lot of punches because his feet are side by side. That's a balance issue. If somebody catch him right, they'll knock him down and knock him off balance. So I'm gonna pick Tanaka. I think Tanaka's gonna win by knockout. I think he's gonna win by knockout, right? But it's a very good fight because I'm gonna let Prodigy go and break it down. Now I'm gonna come back after that because I want to hear what he has to say. But it's a very good fight. I think what you're gonna have is it's gonna start off trying to be a more technical fight because Tanaka does sometimes like the box, but Tanaka is a very good body puncher which Taguchi is open for. You can hit Taguchi to the body. That's one thing you can definitely hit him with. You can hit him to the body, right?
Right.
And Taguchi is maybe a better inside fighter once he gets in there and he starts going at you, which is something Tanaka's susceptible to because he'll get up against the ropes sometimes, and instead of him shifting and moving, he just try to hold his hands and wait for you to, get a little tired and step out. So I'm going with Tanaka by knockout. Mike, you asking for it, dog.
Yeah. Come up in here with that bullshit in my chat. Nah, I'm fucking with you. My man Mike.
See this shit, it'll break down.
My man Mike said, let me get this motherfucker real quick. He said he don't know about Tanaka being a better fighter than Naoya Inoue. And let me preference that real quick. I don't think Tanaka's a better fighter yet. I said he could. I think he can be. He has the potential to be a better fighter than Inoue. But he said Tanaka is close to the Inoue level. But the difference is that Inoue can do the same thing that Tanaka can, but Inoue has explosive power that Tanaka doesn't have. Inoue has zero inside game, Mike. What the fuck are you talking about? Kosei Tanaka is an all-around fighter, outside and inside. The actual biggest knock on Inoue is he has zero inside game, bro. Did you not watch his fight? USA debut against Antonio Nieves? Antonio Nieves was getting inside. Inoue had no fucking idea what to do. He didn't know what to do. That's why the fight was a stinker until eventually Inoue ended up knocking him out because Antonio Nieves is not really a smart fighter. He ended up staying on the outside and got caught, right? Started getting beat up. But for like the first 5 rounds of that fight, bro, first 4 rounds or whatever, what have you, people were booing Inoue. I remember motherfuckers on Facebook and all these other social media websites were like, this guy's overrated. He fucking sucks. And it's because Nieves was getting inside and Inoue had no idea what to do. Kosei Tanaka is very good from the outside and the inside. Not only is he good at both distances and mid-range distance, by the way, but this motherfucker has the uncanny ability like Andre Ward had, like Julio Cesar Chavez had, right? Like Roberto Duran had at 135. The uncanny ability to be standing right in front of you at close distance and not get hit. He could do that, right? Also, did you watch the fight against Angel Acosta? Angel Acosta is one of the hardest hitting fighters in boxing. He like 20-0. I'm not looking at his record. Like 20-0, 20 knockouts with 1 loss. Guess where that 1 loss came from? Not only did the 1 loss come from Kosei Tanaka with 2 broken orbital bones, by the way, still beats Angel Acosta. But Kosei Tanaka dominated him. He dominated him. And he dominated him at a distance that Angel Acosta loves to fight at. I'll tell you one thing. If there is an Angel Acosta-like fighter in the WBSS, which there isn't, right? Zolani Tete doesn't fight like Angel Acosta.
No way.
And what's his name? Nonito Donaire doesn't, of course. And then Manuel Rodriguez definitely doesn't, right? But let's just say Inoue was fighting Angel Acosta in the WBSS. That's a tough fight for him because he can't fight on the inside. You see what I'm saying? Also, just to give a little bit of history here, a little tidbit about Kosei Tanaka. When Kosei Tanaka defeated Sho Kimura last year in September, he tied Vasyl Lomachenko's record for the fastest fighter to get titles in 3 divisions. It's 12 fights. He tied it. But nobody's talking about that though. All right. I remember when he was the minimum weight champion. At the same time, Gervonta Davis was a champion. Everybody in the media, that's why I tell y'all to follow 3 Kings Boxing, man. We know our shit. Everybody in the media was like, oh, Gervonta Davis is the youngest fighter in boxing. No. It was Kosei Tanaka. Kosei Tanaka, how was he go? 19? Yeah.
Yes, he was.
19. I think Gervonta Davis was like 20, 21, right? Yeah. Had him for like 2 years or something like that. So this guy is the real fucking deal. And this fight with Ryoichi Taguchi was supposed to happen after or before Ryoichi Taguchi moved up to flyweight to fight Sho Kimura. But with those 2 broken orbital bones he sustained against Angel Acosta, he had to cancel that fight, and he just moved up and fought Sho Kimura. Now that fight is actually happening, and it's going to be like it in America, Central Time, Eastern Time. Central Time is going to be like 3 in the morning, Eastern Time like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. One of those, right? It'll be the same day as Mikey Garcia or Spence. This is a fight you guys should look for. Stream that bitch, do what you can, but it's an excellent matchup. You know what I'm saying? I think Kosei Tanaka is going to knock him out. He's going to put another excellent win on his resume. Understand, Ryoichi Taguchi was the lineal champion at 108 pounds before Heikki Butler got to him. He was the lineal champion.
Yes, he
and
was.
Heikki Butler beat him. And then, of course, Kuroto Hayaguchi ended up beating Heikki Butler. Right? So this guy is the goods. One of the best fighters at the lower divisions. And watch how Kosei Tanaka obliterates him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Mike. Inoue has put fighters down and out with body shots. But what distance was he at? And also understand, when people hold Inoue, what does he do? How does he get out of the clinches? See, Kosei Tanaka has mastered that shit, man. At his age, he's only like 24, 23. That's what I'm saying. He has the potential to be better than Inoue, right?
I do disagree with Mike on one thing. Mike said something about, let me go back to it. Tanaka's on the verge of elite. And
he's already there.
Right, Mike. He's already there. He's already there.
He's already there, man. He's already there. Mike, you know better than that, man. What the hell you in here talking about, man? What the hell you in here talking about, Bo? Moises Fuentes. Hold on. Moises Fuentes, Angel Acosta. You know what I'm saying? Ronnie Baldonado, Sho Kimura, now Ryoichi Taguchi. What the fuck you talking about, Mike?
Mike, no.
Man,
Mike's another cat. Mike love that lower weight division, man.
Oh yeah. But yeah, Kosei Tanaka should beat him. But it's an excellent fight, and it'll be a good way for you guys to check out one of the best out of the lower weight division.
That's
all
it.
Right, we're gonna move on to the next one, man. We're gonna try to make these short and quick, short and sweet. Tevin Farmer will be fighting Jono Carroll tomorrow on DAZN. Now, if you don't already know, if you don't follow Twitter or Instagram or any other social media outlets, Jono Carroll and Tevin Farmer have been talking shit to each other for like the last 8 or 9 months. They've been going back and forth, right?
Yes, they have.
And honestly, Jono Carroll doesn't deserve this fight. He shit he beefed his way into this fight, man.
He did.
Right? the IBF, Daryl Peoples got wind of that beef. They said, all right, check this out, man. Jono, you gonna fight Guillaume Frenois, right? And I can't remember, the fight was like the end of the year last year. You're going to fight Guillaume Frenois for the opportunity to be the IBF mandatory, so you can fight Tevin Farmer next, right? They basically gifted Jono Carroll the opportunity to fight for the mandatory position, right? So that he could fight Tevin Farmer and put an end to all this Twitter beef and Instagram beef and Facebook beef, right? But then when he fought for the goddamn mandatory position, he looked good for 4 or 5 rounds, and then he started getting his ass whooped by an unknown Frenchman.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? He got his ass whooped by an unknown Frenchman. In my opinion, Frenois should be the guy getting this shot.
Yes, he should.
But they called the fight a draw. Thank you, sir. December 8th was when they fought, right? I think it was Kell Brook and Michael Zarafa.
Yeah, right. It was.
Yeah,
Michael,
it was on the undercard of that. But they called it a draw, but it was a clear Guillaume Frenois win, right? And I remember I had posted on Twitter, and Tevin Farmer usually retweets some shit we post or whatever. I posted on Twitter right after the fight. I said, man, Jono Carroll just fucked up his opportunity to get a title shot with Tevin Farmer. Well, Tevin Farmer didn't see, and I tagged him. He didn't retweet it, right? So what I did was I looked on his shit, and I saw that he came out. I looked on his Instagram, and I saw that he came out with a video where he was clowning Jono Carroll. He was like, you got a motherfucking draw, talking all that shit, right? But then right after that, he said, I don't give a fuck. I'm still going to fight you.
Mm-hmm.
He told us in December he was still going to fight Jono Carroll. And here we are. March 15th, fight's going to happen. My opinion, man, this is a stupid-ass fight. I think this is another fight where DAZN is handling Tevin Farmer with care. I like Tevin, man. He's turned over a new leaf since getting knocked out by Jose Pedraza. You know what I'm saying? You know, he has some good wins. The Ivan Redcock win was a good win for him that had people saying, "Oh shit, he might be something. He might be a problem," right? Then he ended up beating Billy Dibb, got the IBF title. That's when people say, "Oh yeah, this dude is a problem." You see what I'm saying? So, the thing is though, Jono Carroll, man, the only way that I see he wins this fight is that Twitter, Instagram, Facebook beef with Tevin Farmer for the past 6-7 months has motivated him enough to where he comes out of his shell, out of his terrible natural tendencies, and does some shit that he normally doesn't do that helps him win this fight, a la Danny Jacobs versus Gennady Golovkin, right? Does some shit he normally doesn't do to win this fight. But if he's the same old Jono Carroll, especially the one that fought Gilliman for Noise, this is fucking easy work. You know what I'm saying? Easy work and another DAZN, you know, kid handling fight for Tevin Farmer, so that possibly, just maybe, and Eddie Hearn has expressed this before, he could try to make a unification bout with Tank Davis. What do you think about this, Bo?
Which one, the Tank Davis unification part or the breakdown of the fight?
You really ain't got to break it down. I mean,
I'm about to say, what the fuck is that for me to say?
Yeah. I mean, it really ain't nothing to break down, man. It's good banter and shit. It's good, you know, promotion to see Jono Carroll with his big ass Santa Claus beard and shit, you know, looking at Tevin Farmer in the face and talking shit about how he. Oh yeah, and the fight's in Philly, by the way. You know what I'm saying? Talking about he gonna go to Philly and win the fight. That's all good and it's good banter. It's good to see. But come on.
He gonna be like that dude that we saw at the fight that had his eye swollen and asked the old girl to marry.
Oh yeah. Who whooped his ass, dog? It was Oscar Valdez whooped his ass.
Yeah, Oscar Valdez. Yep, that's right. It was Oscar Valdez.
Dude's last name was Thomason or some shit. I can't remember his first name. Yeah, got his ass whooped by Oscar Valdez and then proposed to his girl in the ring in front of thousands of people with the bright lights on her, like she gonna say no.
Yeah, dog, that was
of course crazy. She gonna say yes, nigga.
Man, look, man, this is what I think. I don't blame Tevin Farmer for this fight because Tevin Farmer has made it very, very clear he wants to unify. He wants to fight some of the top guys out there. Tevin Farmer has been very, very, very vocal about wanting to fight Tank Davis. He's been very, very vocal about not even just fighting Tank Davis. He said, "Man, I'll fight the nigga below you." Shit. Yeah. You know, what's the name that beat Alberto Machado?
Oh, Andrew Cancio.
Right. Yeah, right. Andrew Cancio, right? He said, "Man, I'll even fight the motherfucker below you." Yeah. For the WBA regular. I just want to fight somebody for another title. He says, "Hey man, I'll even fight Burchell." So I don't blame Tevin Farmer for this. It is an IBF mandatory. We all know how they are. And like I said, he has wanted to fight other guys. So I'm not gonna clown him on this. Yeah. Now it's gonna get very interesting because when you look at that division, everybody that holds belts is with somebody different. You got Ito holding the belt, you got Burchell, but Burchell is supposed to be fighting I think is it Miguel Roman?
No, he's fighting Francisco Vargas.
Francisco Vargas. Okay, and that fight got pushed back. So that fight got pushed back. And you know, Tank is fighting. No, Tank just had a fight, didn't he?
Yeah, Tank just beat Hugo Ruiz in a bullshit ass fight. Yeah,
right. So Tank just had a fight recently. So I mean, he got to stay busy, and you know, this is one of them things where you know you staying busy. But even looking forward down the line, man, I still don't see that boy getting in with no unifications because
that don't happen.
Yeah, because these guys, you know. Two of these guys, well, one of these guys got to fight. That's Burchell. He got to fight that he's waiting for him to get healthy for. Okay, we don't know what Tank Davis gonna do next, but you know, Floyd and them, you know, has made it very clear that you know they're gonna move Tank the way they want to move Tank. Ain't nobody gonna force their damn hand. And then Bob Arum was trying to get Ito to fight. I think with Jamal James or somebody like that. That Bob Arum trying to get him to fight?
Jermell Herring.
Jermell Herring, right? He was trying to get him to fight Jermell Herring, and then WBO was like, "Hell no, he ain't even in our rankings." Right. Yeah. And number one is Ryan Garcia, which is probably why Floyd was fucking with Ryan Garcia. And then number two is Lamont Roach Jr. So they 1 and 2. So man, he not gonna get that fight no time soon, man.
No doubt. My man Lawrence Williams said, "I like the Ito unification fight for Tevin Farmer." I do too, bro. listen, man, I think Masayuki Ito is a heavy wild card at 130, bro. Listen, man, I like Ito Tank. That's an excellent fight. Ito's smarter than a lot of people believe. You know what I'm saying? But I just don't think ESPN and DAZN come together. I mean, the Tevin Farmer is exclusive to DAZN. I mean, he's literally, I mean, they're not moving that nigga off DAZN for anybody.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be difficult for Tevin Farmer to get any type of fucking unifications. I mean, you got Cancio. That could happen, but that's not going to be a unification because he holds the WBA regular title. You got to hold the super title in order for it to be a unification. Well, Tanky holds the super title, so that fight probably not going to happen. The Cancio fight can, but the Tank fight's probably not going to happen. Ito's on ESPN, that's not going to happen, right? So I mean, who else is Berchelt? Berchelt is Golden Boy. That can happen, but I'm not too sure if Eddie Hearn is gonna jump to make that shit happen. You know what I'm saying? Who knows? Man, I'm hearing Tank and fucking Tenshu Nasukawa's next.
Yeah, that cat.
Tenshu Nasukawa.
Yeah, dog. Y'all crazy.
Yeah, man. Get that shit out of here, man.
Man, what you got for me, man?
Oh, man. We're going to jump into this real quick. It's going to be real brief, man. I just want to update y'all on something that's real nice. You know what I'm saying? Katie Taylor. That's one of the baddest motherfuckers in female boxing right now. Lightweight unified champion. She will be fighting an undefeated, I believe she's the IBF champion, if I'm not mistaken, that lightweight, Miss Rose Volante from Brazil. They'll be fighting on DAZN on the undercard of Tevin Farmer, Jono Carroll. This is a pretty good fight, and it's actually a good fight, or let me say, I don't want to say a barometer. It's a good fight to pay attention to because, of course, there's another champion in the division, and I'll get to her soon. But there's WBO, thank you, Mike. But there's also, of course, the lingering possible matchup with Amanda Serrano, right? After Katie Taylor beat the dust off of Cindy Serrano, who is the older sister of Amanda, Amanda sat ringside and said, yo, and this is why she was retired and said she's 100% going to the UFC. She said, yo, fuck that. I could beat her. Give me a DAZN deal. Eddie Hearn said, here you go, 3 fights. You know what I'm saying? So that fight right there is something that's sitting there that can possibly be a mega fight at the lightweight division for female boxing, right? Be a mega fight in female boxing, period. Especially might be up there. It actually will be up there with Jesus, man. Why am I drawing a blank? Clarissa Shields and Christina Hammer, right? The second undisputed woman fighter ever. Katie Taylor's on the verge of being the 3rd undisputed woman fighter ever, right? I think she defeats Rose Volante. That will make her the WBA, IBF, and the WBO champion. And then you got the undefeated German. I believe she's undefeated or she has 1 loss. I can't remember, but she's German, Delfine Persoon. She's an excellent fighter. She just defeated our very own Melissa St. Ville last week or the week before. She's the WBC champion. That's an excellent fight, you know what I'm saying, for the undisputed at lightweight. So that's why this fight against Rose Volante on Friday is a pivotal matchup because the winner gets an opportunity to face Delfine Persoon for the 3rd female undisputed champion in female boxing history. It's going to be an excellent fight. I say check that out. Plus, Katie Taylor is a bad motherfucker. Yeah, 43-1. Thank you, Lawrence. I knew she had 1 loss, but she's been on like a 20-fight win streak or some shit like that. Look that up for me, dog. Tell me if I'm correct on that. But Persoon at one point, man, I had her top 7 female pound for pound. You know what I'm saying? I think I had her at like number 5 or number 6. And then, of course, Clarissa Shields came in and Katie Taylor came in. You know what I'm saying? It moved some niggas down a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But
had to shuffle the board around.
Yeah. Hey, Mike, I agree with that. And you know what? I could go in on Amanda Serrano.
Yes.
Now, Amanda Serrano was what? A 7-division champion?
Yes.
Or 7-time champion? One of the two. But the thing is with Amanda Serrano, she hasn't fought anyone of note.
That's true. That's very
One of her
true.
last biggest fights of note was a loss, actually. I can't remember the girl. Frida Wahlberg just came to me. I was getting ready to say I can't remember her name. Came right to me. Frida Wahlberg. Frida Wahlberg whooped her ass, then had like some brain hemorrhaging or something like that caused her to have to retire early. So she never, Amanda Serrano never rematched her.
That's right.
23-fight win streak. I knew it, fam. I said 20 fight. I knew it was something like that. right? But she never got the rematch. But Amanda Serrano since then hasn't been fighting great opposition. It hasn't been terrible, but it hasn't been great. And a lot of the fights that she's got to get to that 7-time champion, they're not that good, especially the last one she just had at 115 pounds, right? That was a terrible fight for a title. Amanda Serrano, I agree, Mike. She's a weight bully. I don't like that terminology. I'll just say she fights. She's an opportunist, much like Sugar Ray Leonard was. She's an opportunist.
Up. You didn't say his name right.
Nah, nigga, I ain't saying that dumb shit. She's an opportunist. You know what I'm saying? So she sees things. She takes advantage of it because she knows she has the advantages.
Yeah. Against
Katie Taylor, she ain't got those advantages. And that's why there's one thing I want to say before we move on. Because I know, Bo, I'll let you cover the next one. I don't want to go too hard on this one. There's something I want to say. After Amanda Serrano beat that girl at 115 pounds last month or whatever the fuck it was, they asked her about Katie Taylor. She had a reluctant reply, dog.
Yeah, she did.
I was mad, Joe.
I pissed the fuck off.
Yeah, I thought Serrano was going to be like, yeah, you know, Shane, fuck that motherfucker, nigga. I'll fight anybody in this mother. No, it wasn't like that at all. No. She was like, well, you know, right now I'm just, you know, looking to get to the next division. Or no, she said, I'm thinking about staying at this division and defending my title. If the Katie Taylor fight happens, then it happens. Yep. What? We don't want to hear that shit.
Exactly. I agree.
We don't want to hear that bullshit, Amanda. We want to hear you say, nah, motherfucker, Amanda Serrano ain't cute. Cut that shit out, Chris. You want to see somebody that's cute? Go check out some of these Instagram chicks that box. Way better than Amanda. Anyway, what's the girl's name, Bo, with the fat ass? She's still a amateur. She ain't gone pro yet. What's my girl's name, bro?
You're not talking about
Come on, man. Pretty girl.
She's from Australia.
Not light skin, but curly hair.
Yeah, she's from Australia.
What the fuck is her name, dog?
I'm drawing a goddamn blank, and I got
Rosanna Cox. Way better than Amanda Serrano, man. It's not even close. Not even close. Anyway, but I'm not trying to hear that bullshit. Yeah, she looked better too, Lawrence. Bree Parker. Get that Amanda Serrano out of here, nigga.
Yes, she does.
Get that shit out of here, bro. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I didn't like what I heard from Amanda because everybody thought and assumed, because she, you know, the fact that she jumped at a 3-fight deal after Cindy Serrano got the dust and the brakes beat off her ass, that we was gonna get a Katie Taylor fight. And now she talking, you know, the fight happened. Get the fuck out of here with that, man. But anyway, this fight is pivotal only because we have an opportunity to have the third female ever to become an undisputed champion if the winner fights Delfine Persoon after this. All right?
Hold on, man. Let me just say something real quick about this fight. Because somebody said Rose Volante is a strong puncher. You got to be more than a strong puncher to be the Katie Taylor. Now, you guys saying Katie Taylor has some of the best feet in the game. I can argue that because there's a chick out there named Chantel Cameron that's thirsting to get them hands on Katie Taylor.
Oh,
she got some good goddamn feet, too.
Yeah. And see, that's another fight, man. That's what I'm saying, man. Like, lightweight is heavy.
Yes, it is.
For the female division.
Yes,
it's heavy.
But I do like this fight. Listen, Rose Volante is a decent fighter. She's not a boxer. She's a decent fighter. Okay, she's aggressive. She comes forward. She goes to the body. But one thing that she does is she has a tendency. She doesn't throw a right hand straight. She throws it looping. You can't land a punch like that against a Katie Taylor. Now, Katie Taylor has learned a lot from her fight with Jessica McCaskill because McCaskill was able to hit her with that, and McCaskill actually learned a lot from that fight. That's why she went on and won her title in the very next fight from
WBC Junior.
Yeah, I mean the way she fought Katie Taylor, I saw none of that when she fought for that WBC title. Okay. She went, you know, she did something there. But I think Katie Taylor wins this fight. I think it's easy for her because Rose Volante, although she's a heavy puncher, like most heavy punchers, she's also heavy footed. And she's not a person that she doesn't cuts off the ring.
Well, Katie Taylor is a very intelligent fighter. I mean, it's just like in men's boxing. There's no difference. You're not just going to say, well, you know, he's a heavy puncher, so he's going to beat the more intelligent fighter. No, you got to have more than that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
shout out. Hey, props to my man, Lauren. Listen, everybody in the chat, this is why I love what we do. We got motherfuckers that know boxing. He talking about some Volante beat Cameron in the amateurs. Dog. You know how many people don't know that?
They don't know that shit, bro. Hey, Lawrence Williams a beast, man. Hey, Christopher Tom, dog. Hey, that cat Lawrence Williams will fuck your ass up in the pit.
That's right, man. That's right, man. So hey man. Who turn it? Is it mine? Oh, is yours or me?
Nah, man, you got the last one. The last one is Sergey Kovalev. Go ahead and kill it. Go ahead and kill it.
Okay then, because we got 2 more topics here.
No, we don't.
Yeah, we do.
What?
Jermell Charlo.
Oh shit, we didn't do that one, huh?
No.
Go ahead and kill the Jermell Charlo one, man. That's in the title.
All right, man. So Jermell Charlo, unlike Sugar Ray, Aaron Pryor, Duncan Leonard, is gonna.
Oh man, this nigga stupid, man. This nigga look how hard he laughing at his whack ass joke. Motherfuckers ain't feeling that whack joke, man. You the only one that be laughing that hard at that shit.
Hey man, at my age, man, that's what old people do. You ain't know that, dog. Hey, hold on, wait a minute. Have you forgot what we was talking about earlier today?
Hell yeah.
All right, so you know what? I'm gonna go with Jermell Charlo, man. Will he get his opportunity at redemption? Now, here's the thing right here, man. If you guys watch that fight, we talking about him fighting Tony Harisson. That's what, to get back the WBC 154-pound title that he had, right?
Yeah.
Will he get an opportunity at redemption?
Yeah.
He gets an opportunity at redemption. The question for me is, will he get it? Because the reality is, if Jermell Charlo believes, Jermell Charlo, I'm sorry.
Right.
If Jermell Charlo believes, like what Sergey Kovalev did with Andre Ward, I ain't got to change to do nothing different, he's going to lose this fight.
Yeah.
Okay? He's going to lose this fight because Tony Harisson was killing him with that goddamn jab. I mean, he was just landing that motherfucker like, we ain't doing nothing? Take that jab. Oh, we still ain't doing nothing? Take that jab.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Oh, you want to stay out there? Take that jab. Oh, you waiting to land one punch? Take that jab. And he was killing him with that.
That nigga eating jabs, boy. He ain't never going to be hungry.
Man, he was killing with that. So he has to go back. For some reason, he has failed because he knocked out who's that? Was it Devin Haney? No, not Devin Haney. What's that kid? Charles Hatley, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he knocked out Charles Hatley, he has come to believe that he's some kind of power puncher. So he's just sitting waiting to land that one big punch and catch you, right? And that's what they thought they was gonna have with Harisson. They thought Harisson was gonna quit. They thought Harisson was going to do the same thing that he did in Hurd, which was quit. Okay. But what they wasn't planning on is he had a fight after that. See, sometimes, man, you got to strip everything down, go back to the basics and work your way back. Well, that's what Tony Harisson did. You know, Tony Harisson undressed himself, went to Crunk Gym and said, hey, man, I've been up here living this life. Now that I done got money, drinking and chasing hoes and shit. No, I got to go back to when I was hungry. You know what I'm saying? I got to go back to when I was, on the corner, you know what I'm saying, begging for nickels and dollars just about a penny can to fit my belly. I got to go back to that. I got to get that hunger back, right? And that's what he did. So I don't know if he gets redemption at this because I don't like what I heard him say, which is Jermell Charlo, okay? I don't see him changing the way that he fought to the way that we used to see him fight. I don't see him changing that in one training camp. And if he believes that, hey man, I don't have to change anything, I won that fight. And if you really believe that, and you go into that fight, man, Tony Harisson gonna win this fight again because all Tony Harisson got to do is do the same thing he did the first time, just don't get caught. That's all he got to do because he definitely had the better footwork. He was the more athletic fighter, and he was the more he was the better boxer. And that's all them three ingredients right there against a guy that's waiting to land one punch or against a guy that's hoping you get tired. I'm not saying that Jermell Charlo is not a boxer. He's just not a better boxer than Tony Harisson is.
Right.
See, Tony Harisson is a boxer technician, and what Jermell Charlo is more of a puncher boxer.
Right.
And that's going to be the difference. So I still got Tony Harisson winning this fight, man.
Well, shout out to my man Lawrence. He said he thinks Jermell is going to fight the number 3 contender in June. Well, we broke that story. They got this fight is set for June 23rd, the rematch. Yeah. Also, there was a rematch clause. So Jermell Charlo is trying to he wants that rematch clause executed, and Tony Harisson already said he'd do it. Plus, the date is already set. Now, there is an opportunity for the fight to get called off. anything could happen. But as of now, as of today, that fight is set for June 23rd. I mean, I'm with Bo, but my thing is this: all Jermell Charlo really got to do is let his fucking hands go.
Yep.
At the end of the day, let his hands go. Pressure the fuck out of Tony Harisson. A guy like Tony Harisson needs to get in a groove. He needs to be what's that word I'm looking for, Bo?
He needs to be
comfortable. Yeah. Thank you.
Confident. He just needs to be confident.
Thank you. He needs to be confident. He needs to be comfortable. Okay, you meant Jamal. Bet, no doubt, fam. Yeah, he needs to be comfortable in the ring. You know what I'm saying? So while he's in there, don't let him get comfortable. Keep working the jab. Beat a boxer puncher, like Bo said. Work the jab. Get at mid-range distance. Beat the body up so the motherfucker stop moving. You get him trapped up against the ropes. Beat the body up. Don't headhunt. Just beat the body up. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to piss a lot of Kronk gym lovers off and niggas from Detroit. But Tony Harisson is a quitter. We've seen it twice. We've seen it twice. No disrespect, but it is what the fuck it is, man. He's a quitter. Willie Nelson, Jarrett Hurd. All right. Jarrett Hurd was terrible. Motherfucker he beat the count and then spit his mouthpiece out.
Oh God.
We all know what that shit means.
Means you quit.
Yeah. If you've been in the ring and you fought amateurs, you know what that shit means. You spit that mouthpiece out in front of the ref, they're gonna call the fight. You know what I'm saying? So this is the thing. He's got to Jermell Charlo, all he has to do is apply pressure and let his hands go. He should win this fight, man. But if he does the same thing he did in the first fight, and I had Jermell winning the fight. It was a close fight, but I had Jermell winning. You know what I'm saying? I didn't think it was a robbery like a lot of people are saying. Tony Harisson did some great things, especially with that jab. He showed that he's got a piston-ass jab. And he showed variance with that jab, which is always a great thing because you don't know your opponent doesn't know what kind of jab to be expecting.
No.
When you vary that jab. So that's excellent. He showed that, but I still felt Jermell did a little bit more to win that fight. I feel like all he has to do, like Errol Spence said, even Errol Spence said this fight wasn't a robbery. He mentioned himself that Jermell Charlo needed to do a little bit more. That's all he has to do. Just a little bit more in terms of being more aggressive, throwing more punches, and pumping the jab. It just seems like Jermell Charlo just stopped using the jab when he went shot to my man again, Derek James, when he went over to Derek. He said, fuck the jab, nigga. I'm trying to knock niggas out like my brother. You know what I'm saying? But that's not your style. He's been great with it. He hasn't really been knocking really too many. I mean, what was it? John Jackson in a fight he was losing, by the way.
Yeah.
What's the amateur's name? Charles Hadley.
Charles
Hadley? Ew. You know what I'm saying? Like niggas like that, he been knocking out. So while it has been working for him, the competition wasn't that great. And then of course Erickson Lubin, that right hand was money on Erickson Lubin's ass. You know what I'm saying? So it's been good for him. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, against a guy like an athletic guy like Tony Harisson, he's got to incorporate the jab more, like he did when he was with Ronnie Shields. You know what I'm saying? Like he did against Vanez Martirosyan that got him that close decision in that fight. It was the jab. You know what I'm saying? It was the distance that he had the right pace for himself and he established distance correctly. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see, man. Mike Wilson said, do you think the winning the title and the confidence gained from that will give Harisson a greater sense of self-belief and resolve during the rematch? Yeah, I think Tony Harisson should go out there and do exactly what he did in the first fight. He can't do anything else. He do exactly what he did in the first fight. But he needs to be wary that Jermell Charlo is not, or shouldn't, let me say this, he shouldn't give him the same opportunities to get comfortable in that ring.
Exactly.
He needs to be wary of that. Okay? Especially with, go ahead.
No, if I say he also needs to be wary of, because Mike, like cats like Tony Harisson, when they reach this type of thing, this type of stature right here, they get complacent in their mind.
Yeah.
See? Yeah. And that's what I'm curious to see is how is he taking this fight? Because cats like Tony Harisson, when they win, they finally win that title, they take that sigh of relief and they get complacent in their mind. So I want to know if he comes into this fight thinking, hey man, I'm the champ, man. I ain't got to do much, you know what I'm saying? This dude, I beat him easily first time, I beat him easily a second time. That could reverse on him. That could hurt him.
Yeah, man. I don't want him thinking that. I don't think Tony Harisson would think that anyway.
Yeah.
Jermell Charlo, on the other hand, he has more of that kind of mindset. You know what I'm saying? His psychology is like, his psyche is like that. You know what I'm saying? He can think like that. You know, him and his brother got that alpha male mentality. So I would expect Jermell to come into the fight and be like, man, I beat this motherfucker the first time. This is gonna be easy work this time. I can expect him to do that, but he can use that to his advantage because he's gonna be like, man, I ain't letting shit back this time around. I'm about to pressure this motherfucker and beat him into the ground. He could do that, and that's exactly what he needs to do against him. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, man, we're gonna go to the next one. It's gonna be the last one. I don't even know if this fight happens, bro. The WBO ordered Sergey Kovalev versus Anthony Yarde. Now, Anthony, this comes on the heel of Anthony Yarde already admitting that he's not ready for top-level competition. This is after he just beat Travis Reeves, I think the guy's name was, a nigga from Baltimore. You know what I'm saying? He just knocked him out like in the 3rd or 5th round or some shit. You know what I'm saying? With him admitting that he's not ready to fight top-level competition, don't look too hard into this shit, man. The WBO ordering it. Frank Warren is known for putting niggas in protective custody, a la Joe Calzaghe. You know what I'm saying? Protective custody at its finest, nigga. If you murk a nigga and you need some protection, call Frank Warren. He got you. You know what I'm saying? If you in court telling on a nigga, matter of fact, Tekashi 6ix9ine should hit up fucking Frank Warren. You know what I'm saying? Tekashi 6ix9ine need to hit up Frank Warren, dog. You know what I'm saying? Best protective custody around, nigga. You know what I'm saying? So if you want that protection, he got you, dog. And that's what he does for Anthony Yarde. Hell, the protection is so great, this shit has brainwashed Anthony Yarde, dog. He's brainwashed it. You know what I'm saying? So, PC Jacob, hey, man, don't come in here assuming nothing, man. Go back and listen to the show.
I told him that once already, so okay.
Go back and listen to the show, man. Don't come in here assuming nothing, man.
Yeah.
Anyway, but, you know, he's brainwashed this fighter into thinking, hey, man, we need to protect you as much as we can. You're not ready. Motherfucker holding 2 minor titles. He's still not ready. #1 ranked fighter in the WBO, still not ready.
Still not ready.
So don't take this shit with a grain of salt. The WBO can order whatever the fuck they want, but if Anthony Yarde doesn't want the fight, nothing can be done about it. Sergey Kovalev will still be the champion. What do you think about that, Bo?
Man, look, Anthony Yarde is talking. He's saying, "Oh no, I want a title fight." You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I want a title fight. Man, look, dog. Bottom line is, there's one thing, and somebody pointed this out a while back, right? Frank Warren made a very crucial mistake with O'Hara Davies that he don't want to make with Anthony Yarde. Both of these guys have limited to almost barely any amateur background.
Right.
Okay. But they was good, they was athletic, and they could pop. So what he did was he kind of rushed O'Hara Davies. That's why he threw him in there with
good point. Josh Taylor.
With Josh Taylor.
Good point.
Right. As a matter of fact, not only did he throw him in there with Josh Taylor, he let him fight Josh, and Josh.
Hold on, family. I think O'Hara Davies was with Eddie Hearn at that time. Remember? Because he was with him. And then that whole situation with not Anthony Crowler. What's the other motherfucker that looks like?
Oh, when he talked that stuff.
Yeah, he talked that shit about the Sun newspaper, and it was like a controversy with the guy's hometown.
Yeah.
And Eddie Hearn dropped him, and then he went to Frank Warren.
Yeah,
so I think he was with Eddie Hearn when he fought Josh Taylor.
Okay, well, they had very little amateur career, but you put him in there. He even fought him in his own backyard. So now you look at Anthony Yarde, you kind of got that same thing. Because, you got a cat over there, Joshua Buatsi's on Anthony Yarde's ass. Yeah. Buatsi's like, dude, I only got 8 fights, and I'll put your dick in the dirt.
He's way better than him, man. Buatsi way better than Anthony Yarde.
He's way better than him. But the problem is, even if you want to tell me, because I get cats saying Anthony Yarde's not ready for that. Yeah, and he's not. He's not. He's not ready for no Kovalev. He's not. He just isn't. I mean, let's just be fair and honest. He's not, especially this new Kovalev we saw. He's not ready for that. But the problem is, you holding 2 belts from the WBO that has put you in the #1 position, and your number is being called. You got to take the goddamn fight. Either you take the fight or the WBO got to bump you down from that #1 ranking position. So I know Anthony Yarde is talking about, hey man, listen, hey man, listen, I'm gonna take this fight. Okay. Oh, I want to fight because Anthony Yarde is probably hearing cats talking about, because a lot of UK cats is mad at him. So Anthony Yarde probably hearing cats talking about him like, yeah, man, you know, hey man, when you gonna do something? You know what I'm saying? I mean, you walking around holding these belts, but them ain't world championships, man. When you gonna do something? You know, you out here taking selfies, you know what I'm saying, pulling holes and all that. You know, you getting all this treatment, but you ain't done nothing. So that's why he's probably like, no, yeah, you know, man, no, hold on, man, check it out, man, don't talk like that, yo. I'm gonna take this fight. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna take a championship fight. But Frank Warren is probably telling him, look here, Mike, say what you want to say to your friends, but in this office, you do what I say. You understand, mate? Okay? Now, put the titles down, sit down, and let's talk about this cab driver you're going to fight next.
Man, look, well, he did a bad job. I'll say this, and Mike said that he's talking out both sides of his mouth. I will say this. Previous to knocking out Travis Reeves, we did print a press release where right after Sergey Kovalev defeated Alida Alvarez, Anthony Yarde came out and said, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Sergey Kovalev only going to be holding that belt temporarily, you know what I'm saying? He said that, but then right after he knocks out Travis Reeves, well, I'm not ready for top-level guys. That's talking out both sides of your mouth. Yeah. So, which one is it, motherfucker? You're right. He turned down, not only did he turn down Kovalev, Lawrence, he turned down Artur Beterbiev twice.
And Sullivan Barrera.
And Sullivan Barrera. He's turned down 4 opportunities for big fights or step-up fights against competitors in the division, top contenders and champions. Yeah. So, yeah, man, he's just like I said, expect him to keep on doing that. He's not he ain't fighting Kovalev. No. He ain't fighting Kovalev.
No, especially this Kovalev we saw against Alida Alvarez with Buddy McGirt. No, man, he ain't. No.
Yeah, nah, he ain't fighting him. He ain't fighting him. All right, man. I'm gonna address 2 questions that my man Christopher sent me earlier today. I told him I'd address them on the show at the end of the show. Number 1, Bo, who are the most technical female boxers of all time? And also, which are the most technical fights you have seen in women's boxing? Good question.
That's a good question. One of the most technical female fighters I've seen of all time, you got to go with, of course, the number 1 undisputed woman is Cecilia Braekhus. She's one of the most technical fighters I've seen of all time. You know, another technical fighter I've seen, I know a lot of people don't really say this, and I talk about it, and she was a very good technical fighter, and she still fights. Me and 2K was talking about it. Jackie Nava is a very good technical fighter.
So is Mariana Waters.
So is Mariana, but I think Nava is a little bit more.
I agree.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I think my Juarez is exceptionally technical. I just think when it comes to Jackie Nava is just a little bit more technical mixed in with a little bit of more grooveness with it. That's where Mariana Juarez is technical mixed in with a little bit of counter punching in it. So she's a little bit more methodical with hers than she is with Jackie Nava, right? So yeah, the 2 most technical fighters I've ever seen, and I know a lot of people want to say Clarissa Shields and everything, but Lucia Riker was more of a brawler than a technical fighter. Lucia Riker was kind of like Cyborg.
Nah, man, you took it right out of my fucking mouth, man. I disagree with that, Bo. You're right. Lucia Riker she's known for doing that, but Lucia Riker was a smart brawler. Remember that?
Yes, she was.
Which goes, you can be a brawler and technical at the same time. You know what I'm saying? So Lucia Riker was a technical brawler, and she was excellent at what she does. So that, to me, that makes her one of the most technical women fighters of all time. That's exactly what I was going to say was Lucia Riker.
You know what's funny is because a lot of her fights, I never, you know, okay. I mean, I give you guys that because I've seen Lucia Riker, because I wanted Lucia Riker to fight Christy Martin.
Hey, man,
hold on. That fight to happen.
Hold on. Lawrence Williams and Rodnell, fuck y'all niggas, man.
Ooh, what they say?
They took it out of my mouth, man. I should have went first.
Yeah. No, they did. They said Riker.
Word up. And that's what I'm talking about, man. We got some knowledgeable cats up in here, man.
Them two, and what's the most, what was the most technical woman's fight I've ever saw?
Man, dog. I don't know, man. That's a difficult one.
That's a real difficult one.
I had to go on my archive, Chris.
I saw Ali. Layla Ali was in a very good technical fight.
Yeah, they've all been in good. I
They've
mean,
all been in good technical fights. Oh man.
I don't know, man. But let me say this: as technical as Lucia Reichel was, I still got to go with the first undisputed female boxer of all time. That's Cecilia Brackets, man.
Yep.
I got to go with her, man. It's Christy Martin, in my opinion. Yeah, you're right, Mike. He didn't want no.
No, she did not.
She didn't want no part of Lucia Reichel.
She did not.
Listen, man. Christy Martin saw the movie $1 Million Baby before the movie came out. You know what I'm saying? Christy Martin saw what Lucia Reichel did to fucking Hilary Swank before the movie came out. He said, nah, fuck that, man. I was told 6-7 years from now she gonna break a bitch neck on a bar stool. Nigga, I'm done. Nigga, nope. I don't want them problems, dog.
Oh, man.
Word up. Chris, I got to get back to you on that second question, man, of the most technical woman.
Yeah, me too, man. Because I've seen a lot of them, man. I remember Mia St. John. She was a decent. I'm not gonna say she was exceptionally technical, but she was decent. I used to like watching her.
Yeah,
there's a lot of them, man.
All right, man. The next one he asked, he said, with your channel and interviews, more so with Three Kings Boxing, that's what's really been getting us a lot of the interviews. Have you been able to be around many gyms and training camps? And he said, what are the attributes of most top fighters and trainers towards PEDs or attitudes? Excuse me, not attributes. Is it understood that it is necessary to be on drugs, or is it kept more on the down low? What do you think about that, Bo? That should be a quick answer.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of both. I think some of it is a little bit kept on the down low, but I also think none of these, the majority of your trainers and fighters do not believe or even want anyone taking any kind of PED at all, period.
Absolutely.
And that's why they all embrace the whole testing from the different organizations, things of that nature. And let's also keep into account is a lot of times these guys fail, and it's not for a PED. Sometimes it might be a substance that's bad for them, like what happened to Bermain Stavern. And on the daily, stuff is coming out. You know what I'm saying? That's why you have to be exceptionally careful. Like I know for a fact, I can't say no names, but I know for a fact that one particular fighter, he doesn't buy shit over the fucking counter. He don't even take cold medicine over the fucking counter. He goes to a doctor, get a prescription, and immediately reports it to one of the organizations. So yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree with I have the same sentiment as Bo. You know, not every trainer is Panama Lewis. not every trainer is Panama Lewis. You know what I'm saying? But most trainers, they're not really into what fighters are taking or what they're doing. Their job is to train the fighter and move on. Mm-hmm. They're hired to do one job. Now you got other trainers that have a special relationship with fighters, a la Freddie Roach and Manny Pacquiao, where they may be known, or let me say, they might be privy to more information than what a normal trainer has to what a fighter is doing in the background. But at the end of the day, the majority of trainers, they're hired to do one job and one job only, and that's to train the fighter. So they're not really into all that. They just make sure, hey, you didn't go out last night and fuck all these hoes and get drunk, did you? No. All right, bet. You didn't eat McDonald's and shit before you came in here, right? No, bet. All right, let's train. That's how it works. So now if you ask that question about strength and conditioning coaches, that's a whole nother that's a whole nother answer. That's a whole nother fucking answer.
Man, dog. Go to 3kingsboxing.com.
Hell yeah.
There's an article on that motherfucker for you.
Oh yeah, my man. Shout out to my man Corey Cunningham. He interviewed Memo Heredia right before what's his name? Yordenis Ugas fought Sean Porter.
Yes.
Ugas had hired Memo Heredia. He interviewed him. Memo talked a lot about VADA, how it's not what you guys think it is and all. It's a very good interview. It's a transcripted interview, so it's an article format. Go to 3kingsboxing.com, type in Heredia in the search, you know what I'm saying, and check that article out. He dropped some gems on the motherfucker, man, on that one. Shout out to Corey. That was an excellent interview. All right. We gonna end this motherfucker right here. I appreciate everybody, man. 2 hours in. This was a long ass podcast, man.
It didn't seem like it
long.
It don't. Y'all was live in this motherfucker.
It live, man. Like everybody stuck with us. The majority stuck with us, man. Even when we talked about, we understand when we talk about Deontay Wilder and Spence and shit. we know motherfuckers, that's gonna be the biggest audience.
Yeah.
But then when we get to talking, that's when the fake niggas fade out.
You
know what I'm saying? The fake ass boxing fans fade out, B. And that's when the real boxing fans stay. We see that. You know what I'm saying? We see that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's like you walk in the club, you throwing them dollars up so all the bitches around you, right?
Yeah.
Right? But when you ain't pulling out that money no more, you only the real motherfuckers that like you stick around.
Look, you throwing hundreds, but then when them hundreds turn into $5 bills, them bitches gonna scatter. Only the real ones gonna stick around, dog. Word up, family. I appreciate everybody in the chat. Let me go ahead and get my disclaimer because we did talk a lot of shit. Boxers, trainers, fighters, fans, anybody in the sport that's a big entity or believes themselves as a big entity. Understand this is just entertainment. All the shit we talk, we got to entertain the people in here that are watching the show. We don't take nothing personal, as you shouldn't. You know what I'm saying? Of course, we love the sport. We don't support not one fighter, any one fighter. We support the sport as a whole. As I've said before, myself and Bo have been in the ring, so we do know what it takes to get in the ring and put your heart out and your all out for that bag and, of course, the entertainment. So if you do got a problem, you can always come see me. You know what I'm saying? If you don't like the podcast, we talk too much shit, you don't like how we get it in, go ahead and go to 3kingsboxing.com. Everything we talk about on here is on there in article format. 100% non-biased, as this podcast is as well. But, you know, you don't get all the banter, the shit talking, smacking the bitches and talking about hoes, bitches and ass, all of that. You won't get none of that. You know what I'm saying? You won't get none of that. You know what I'm saying? The fun stuff. Get the boring shit over there. But go over there anyway. I'm fucking with y'all, man. Follow us on Twitter at 3kingsboxing, Instagram at 3kingsboxing, Facebook.com/3kingsboxing. Also, go to the website, 3kingsboxing.com. Check out all the articles that our authors are putting up on a daily basis. It's a 24/7 operation. We never sleep. Sleep sometimes, but we always get information out there. All right. While you're there, go ahead and hit that donate button. Support the authors. 1 cent, $1, $5, 5 cents, $1 million if you got it. I appreciate it. Also, I appreciate everybody who has donated up to this point. All right. Also, don't forget this podcast on this channel every Monday and Thursday, 9:30 Eastern Time, 8:30 Central, 6:30 Pacific. Sometimes we be showing up 10 o'clock Eastern Time, but we will be on this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? We late sometimes, but we will be on there. Also, if you want this podcast to grow, we had a pretty good show. And I won't say excellent. I want way more viewers than this because there's a lot of real shit that we talk. I want more people to get this too. So please like it. Let YouTube go ahead and put this in the top of the search engine. Share this podcast so people can hear the real. All right. And on that note, we out.
Peace.